Now that's what we're talking about. Oh, that's so filthy.
That's came short
There
in the
you
first
go.
one.
Do the wrong.
But the mistakes have been few and far between for JK, and he is semi-final bound with a tongue-topping checkout.
Very popular now.
Game shot the first.
But that's magical from Justin Smith. 1-2-5. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Modus Super Series for our second part of the double header today. Group C today was good, but I've got a funny feeling Group B is going to be spectacular. And of course, myself and the asset Paul Nicholson is here to look over all the action. Paul, this afternoon, it was good. It got the taste buds going, but I've got a funny feeling this Group B is really going to catch fire this evening.
Yeah, I think when you've got someone called the Bearded Dragon coming in who is particularly explosive, I think you're throwing an extra bit of sauce on the burger, aren't you? Not to make a Michael Burgoyne joke, but yeah, Group C was decent this afternoon, and it's a really interesting dynamic going into tomorrow. But I think Group B tonight has got a lot of ingredients going for it with people who have won weeks and had very good runs here.
We're going to have a look back at Group C this afternoon. And Martin Turner really stole the show, and the way he ended it with an explosive 150 finish really sealed what was a great day for the Yorkshireman.
Yeah, I think he started fairly slowly, but as the day went on, he got better and better. And like I was saying a little bit earlier on, this is the ideal way to finish your day, with your best performance and your best finish. Because when you walk off the stage, you think, well, how could this day have been better? I know he didn't get 10 points, but 8 points at the top of the table, that is something to be proud of.
And everyone's still in the mix in Group C as well. Sometimes players can find themselves detached, but going into what's going to be a huge day tomorrow, all of them are still in contention for a place in the final on Saturday night.
Yeah, they are. I think you look at Jack Mail and Michael Burgoyne towards the foot of the table. They've got an awful lot to do, but it has been done before. A lot's going to have to go right for them, but you would fancy, based on probability, that the top four are going to be fighting for 2 spots. Yeah, week one of the new series, and the 3 groups have all had different elements, from Tom Sykes winning Group A, and then we can see Group B and Group C at the moment. I just look at Group B, and it's got a real flavour and a real excitement about it. Yeah, you've got your one debutant from this week in Revelino Dubois, I think he's already won this week. I think making Group B was a brilliant step for him, and beating out Martin Adams for that is something rather special. But when you add in Jamie Kelling, who's been to 2 finals here on a Saturday night, he's won one of them, and you've got someone coming in with that kind of experience, and he comes here and he accepts the challenge so easily now. It's something that he's ready for. I think when you put someone like him in with Justin Smith and Andy Hamilton with all of his experience, I think we've got a great deal of ingredients that add up to a very, very good night.
Yeah, those 3 incoming players add a real dynamic to this group. Like you say, they've all done something here. Andy Hamilton, obviously, on the world stage as well. And all 3 will feel they've got a point to prove in this group as well.
Yeah, I think in their own way they do. Justin Smith hasn't really lit up this place since he was in Champions Week a few series ago. I think he'd like to get back to where he was, because you and I both know that Justin Smith is so talented. It's just a question of which one or which version of himself turns up. Andy has had a decent 2024 so far, but he wants results to back up that feeling of having a good season. And I think Kelling just wants more success here.
Yeah, and as we look at the odds as well, it's a close group to pick as well. And the bookies are finding it tough. Chris Gilliland, the favourite, and rightfully so, for what we saw in Group A. But then we've got Smith, Kelling and Hamilton. Not much to split them.
I think what we've got here is a really interesting dynamic of what's likely. Chris Gilliland has not played a great deal of darts over the last few months because of an elbow injury that he's had, but he's recovered really quickly. But look at someone who is not particularly happy with the way he's playing, but still getting into the top 2 in a Group A situation like this week. I think they're backing Chris Gilliland because he backs himself.
The odds suggest it as well. Could Revelino find this group a little bit tough?
I think he could for 2 reasons. One, I think the competition's going to be arguably better than Group A. And secondly, he doesn't have another Dutch person in the room. He might feel a little bit cut off with the lack of experience. So I'll be interested to see how he fares.
Match number 1, Jamie Kelling against Revelino Dubois. Should be an exciting one. What's your feeling on this game?
Jamie's never really frightened to get a good start. And if he gets out the traps, he could catch Revelino quite cold. So it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out, but it could be over in a flash if Jamie's got anything to do with it. He goes into it as a pretty good favourite for me, but never write off Revellino, I guess. He's had a great week so far. Why can't he do anything else?
Well, Paul, it's time to get the action underway, and it is going to be Jamie Kelling against Revellino Dubois, and I caught up with Jamie Kelling earlier on. Jamie, back at the Super Series for another crack at the whip here. Excited?
Yeah, a little bit of redemption, hopefully. Lost in the final to Reese last time. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Tough group, but let's see how it goes.
You've won a week here before. Is now the next stage to then go on and win a series?
Yeah, I think so. I'll just take each game as it comes, though. Like I said, it's a tough group. You're never going to get easy games here. I'm playing well enough, playing regular enough, so let's see what happens.
Do you feel you're developing as a player every time you come here?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm more mature than I was, even probably two series ago. Yeah, just don't really take it too serious. Just obviously I want to win, and I put the practice in, I put the hours in. But, you know, it's not life or death. It's a game of darts at the end of the day, and I think that's made me play better.
We've seen you playing on the ADC circuit this year, the tour events and the vaults. Numbers are very good. How do you translate that form into the next step of your career?
I think just keep playing. Just keep putting yourself in match. You know, you can practice all the hours you want, but match practice is vital. And as long as I keep doing that, I think my game would just keep improving. We
know you've taken some time away from PDC darts, but long term, is that where you see yourself and where you want to play?
Funny enough, I made that decision this week. I'll be going to Q School in January, 100%.
Do you feel that now's the time for you then to go and get that card and go and do great things that we've seen your potential has?
Yeah, I think the form's there. The mindset's right. Everything at home's like nice and settled. You can't ask for anything more. And you know, I've got a lovely family that support me. It's just the right time for me, and I'm ready to give it my best.
Looking around that practice room, who's your biggest threats in this group, do you feel?
I think they're all class players, to be fair. I mean, you've got the experience of Andy Hamilton, and that stands out a mile. But they're all class players, and you're going to have to play. Whoever wins this group has played well to win it.
Jamie, wish you all the very best.
Thank you, mate.
Well, just listening to Jamie there, it's really fascinating. Paul's got a really good outlook on the game and in a real good place by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it does sound like it. I think what he's been focusing on over the last few years is just making sure that his personal life is, I think perfect is the wrong word. Everything seems to be going well for the 34-year-old from Andover, and this is a good age, isn't it? When things are settled and when things are happy, it's a risk to do something a bit daring, like taking darts a bit more seriously. But he has bided his time for the best part of the last 16, 17 years. If this is going to be the time that Jamie pushes on, this week is going to give us a little bit more information to see how ready he is.
Yeah, and he'll want to get off to a fast start here in Group B.
First leg, it's Jamie to throw
2
first.
points in game one. Will give him the confidence boost that he needs. He has the darts here against Revellino.
Yeah, Revy this week should be very proud of himself as we start Group B, because being the only debutant here in week one of Series 8, he came in
94
with no expectation. But by the time we finished on Tuesday, there was a possibility that he could make his way to the top three in the Group A situation, and he did that by beating a 3-time Lakeside champion in a shootout. He's only got 2 years of experience. This is a free hit now to try and make Saturday.
Yeah, and in the early stage of this game, I like the Kelling first dart as well. It's high in the bed. Sometimes when he's not playing at his best, the miss is low and that forces the cover. But at the moment, the first dart is sitting pretty.
43. Jamie, you require 161.
He's a scary good player when he gets that first dart right, and he's got it right again.
137.
It's a wonderful first leg. Double 12 after 12. And he's left Revy all the way back in the 300s.
39. Jamie, you require 24.
For a hold and first blood here in Group B, Kelling. Now he comes across for sixes. Oh, there's a case here. I like that. That's sensible and good board management.
Sometimes you can get carried away with things like averages and I want to get that first leg now. That showed real patience.
24.
He's back to sixes though. He doesn't have to go for it this time, but he has.
21.
Should have had a look at the monitor.
We said good ball management the turn before. That time, not so much, because the 3 is tricky at the best of times.
43.
But now,
Jamie
especially because of his
requires
first
3.
dart, this can get tricky and quickly.
1.
First leg of the
Revelino,
night
you require
that could have easily been won by now
122.
has become a problem. A big problem. But he's had one more let off. This will be nothing short
62.
of relief if he can find
Jamie
the
requires
madhouse.
2.
1 up, 1 in, as we said back in the day. But now it's getting desperate.
No score. Revelino's last score was 66. Revelino, you require 56.
What a strange first leg of the night. He's left double 18 a lot this week. And
Game shot on the
somehow he has
first
won
leg.
that first
Revelino
leg.
Dubois.
Here's the key thing, Phil. Jamie now has got to forget this.
Second leg.
fast.
It's Revelino to throw first.
0 from
Game on.
11 in the Kelling doubling stats. The scoring was majestic. The finishing was not there when he needed it.
140.
If he doesn't forget it, it could infect this game
96.
and worst case scenario, the rest of the night. This is where maturity comes in. You've got to take that breath and any sort of mental coaching you've got in the
43.
locker, you've got to use it for situations like that. There's another explanation as well. I know I'm going a bit left field with this, but maybe Revelino Dubois is a witch doctor. And he cooked that one up a little bit
100.
earlier in the night. If he is, he's a bit of a sinister character, but I can't see him doing that.
Even though it was a still from Revy,
58.
it settled in because the scoring in this leg has been much better as well.
That's amazing what your first double of the night will do.
83.
Averaged just over 82 in his Group A campaign over 15 matches. 30% on the doubles. And he's averaging 180
41.
per match all
Revelino,
week.
you require 135.
The numbers are encouraging. But if he is going to take forward steps here this week and beyond, he's going to need more
95.
than 82 and 30% on doubles.
$84.
And
Revelino, you
Revelino
require
Dubois
40.
looking at tops for an unlikely 2-0 lead.
Game
And
shot
it
on
is
the second
2-zip.
leg. Revelino Dubois.
Jamie Kelling is doing a little bit of soul searching here.
Third leg. It's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
He might be caught in a bit of a haze here. It's amazing how the mind and the body react to a first leg like that.
60.
You find yourself going through many different emotions of, oh, this is a good start. Well, why didn't I hit double 12? Why didn't I hit double 6?
96.
Why didn't I bust it the second time? And you find yourself lost in your own thoughts for a period of 5 to 10 minutes. And then by the time you
100.
come to, you're 2 or 3-0 down. You've got to find something to wake yourself up.
Just feel that this leg is
60.
huge in the context of this game. If Kelling can hold throw, you feel that might just reset him, where if it's a double break and he's staring 3-0 down the
100.
barrel, then it's a lonely place, that stage.
Especially on a Thursday night.
97.
There's only 2 other people in there. And none of them can help you, really. I know the referee's there to help you with the maths. What you've got left, what you've scored.
44.
But mentally, they can't help you. That's an incredible second dart.
121.
Considering the way his dart's going, I'm not really sure how he did it.
And this is turning into a disaster for Jamie Kelling.
13.
He hasn't recovered from leg
Revelino,
1,
you
Paul.
require
Absolutely not.
127.
He really hasn't. And somebody is taking full advantage of it. And even misses on the 17s
67.
aren't that costly at this stage.
96. Rivellino, you require 60.
I think if Jamie Kelling had a coach on the stage or just off the stage, they'd press time out right now
Game
because
shot
he
on
is
the third
3-0 down.
leg. Rivellino, Dubois.
It's interesting you say that, Paul. Obviously not here because of the short
It's
format,
Rivellino
but
to throw
in the
first.
professional game, that players
Game on.
aren't allowed to talk to a manager or a coach at any point during the game. And I always find that strange that, I'm not saying every break they can, but you'd have thought at least one
43.
break per game that they could speak to someone.
I don't see why it would be a bad thing in the sport. I've been an advocate for
100.
both things we've talked about in the last minute. Timeouts in sport, why not darts? If you're having a particularly bad
30.
few minutes or a bad match, press a big red button and have a timeout for a minute or two from any period of the game. And would it be that bad? Would it be that
140.
harmful to the sport to allow a world-class sports person to have the advice of a professional once per night,
31.
let's say?
Not at all for me, because we've all seen there's another pair of eyes can see something that perhaps you're doing wrong that you can't.
100.
I don't think Martin Turner will be too fussed about what I'm about to say, but he did get in touch with me after this afternoon and he said, "You got any
60.
advice about this afternoon?" I
Jamie,
said,
you
"Well,
require
what do you want, Martin? Do you want to be
161.
more top?" I thought he was great today.
47.
I've got every confidence he's going to find the top two tomorrow because at times today he was playing some stunning stuff.
He's going to be very hard to stop tomorrow in Group C. I
100.
completely agree.
Jamie, you require 100.
But now Jamie Kelling will want to get rid of this 114 and get rid of it quickly and hassle-free.
98.
Now this is where he takes that deep breath and you just visualize that 88 and you throw naturally at it without any negative thought.
137.
Is this the biggest start
Jamie
of Jamie's Group
requires
B
16.
potentially? Because if this doesn't go,
Game shot
He's
on
got
the
it.
fourth flag. Jamie
First
Kelling.
double from 14 attempts, and anything's possible from here.
Fifth flag.
3-0.
It's Jamie to throw
it's
first.
normally
Game on.
job done. But I just feel that the scoring power of Kelling can get him out of a hole here.
If that first start is in the right
60.
spot. You're absolutely right when it comes to that. They're so upright and he's so tall that he can build a visit brilliantly off the back of a first dart.
58.
But you know what darts is like, Phil. It can be kind one day and cruel the next. Because yesterday,
100.
when Revy was 3-0 down to Martin Adams and faced match darts in every match-losing position,
100.
he survived every one. I wonder if the next match he plays here on Thursday night will bite him the other way.
Well, you know what our friend and
96.
colleague Chris Mason often says, if your name's on pot,
And there's a pot of money at the end of the rainbow this week.
85.
An invitation to Champions Week and fingerprints on a trophy which Jamie's already grasped before. Beat Richie Corner in that final a
59.
few series ago. Seems like an eternity ago, in fact.
$96.
so 6 darts for Kelling at 186 to bring us back within 1.
100.
Not brilliant board management there from Revy.
The old ferret counting.
We've seen a lot of bogey numbers this week. 163s,
74.
165s,
Jamie
162s.
require 86.
But this is a huge opportunity for Kelling. Here we
Shot on
go.
the fifth
Now we've got a
flag,
game.
Jamie Kelling.
Now all of a sudden, Revellino is thinking because Kelling
Sixth flag. It's
is
Rivellino
breathing
to
down
throw
his neck
first.
again.
Game on.
Now, I've got a point to make about Dubois because at times this week
30.
he's had a twinkle in his eye and it's been infectious in the best possible way. Now that he's not in the same group as Bradley
100.
Roos, he's surrounded by Kelling, who is one of the nicest people you could ever wish to meet.
60.
Chris Gilliland, who is very experienced, but not the most exuberant. Justin Smith, who is exuberant and
43.
a bit fiery, and we like that. And Andy Hamilton, who is the consummate pro. But I wonder
100.
if the next couple of nights are going to be the hardest of Revellino's young career, because he's got to be in the room with all of those stars of the Modus Super Series,
85.
and he's somehow got to shine with way less experience. This is a ridiculous test.
And it's a test he is standing up to, because when he needed it, that is an absolute magnificent maximum from Revellino Dubois.
60.
Puts him back in
Revellino,
control
you require
of a game that was
131.
slipping away from him.
And his doubles have been really good. And if that's a player
91.
where he has on purpose gone for singles, then he's just played that situation beyond his years. That was ridiculously
100.
mature.
Revellino, you require 40.
For the first points of Group B,
Game
it is
shot and the
Revellino
match.
Dubois who
Revellino
pins
Dubois.
tops to seal a 4-2 victory over Jamie Kelling. But you go back to leg one in this game. It was a long time ago, but it was that one that cost Kelling. And we look at the doubling stats, 2 from 15, only 13% was his undoing. But Revellino Dubois will not care. It's 2 points in the bag. But coming up after the break, it will be Justin Smith against Chris Gilliland. Welcome back, everyone. Match number 2 of this Group B campaign, and here's Chris Gilliland against Justin Smith. The bearded dragon returns to this stage, and I'm excited by this game, Paul. I think this could be an absolute belter.
Could well be, but isn't it nice to have this lad from Cardigan back? Doesn't need a cardigan. It's warm enough. Just needs a beard, 3 darts, and an opportunity, which is exactly what he's got. But he's up against Gilly, who's had a solid week so far. Had a chance of winning Group A. What a fabulous Wednesday it was for him. Great start. Unfortunately, the one defeat he got was to Tom Sykes. And that defeat means he plays tonight and tomorrow with a chance to join Sykes on Saturday night. But this has got real potential.
First leg, it's Justin to throw first. Game on.
During the break as well, I had a nice little message from a friend of the Super Series who's enjoying watching along at home, and that is Mr. Graham Usher. Good to have you watching, Graham.
58.
One of the first finalists here.
Still produced one of the best spells of darts in Super Series history. Those 4 legs will forever stay in my mind.
I think they might stay in everybody's mind. I mean, who does that in 4 legs of darts? Pretty much darts completed
60.
in 4 legs. Everything you could possibly wish for. A very, very rare talent is the gambler.
100.
Hope to see you soon. Good luck when you play in Hildesheim next week. See you there.
108.
And that's what you're going to get from Justin Smith. And without letting the cat out of the bag, because some people have been on social media tonight about the bullseye challenges that the newbies in Group B
60.
have done this evening, you might want to catch a bit of Justin Smith's. It's pretty good. And I'm going to go so far as to say no one's going to beat that in this series.
137.
All I'll say is simply ridiculous.
He is a wonderful talent. And when he gets it right,
98.
he could win this
Justin,
group
you
standing
require
on his head.
66.
Double 18. And this
Game
is
shot
what he
of
can
first
do.
leg, Justin Smith.
He's up there when he's right.
Maverick is a
Second
sometimes
leg, it's
overused
Christopher
word in
first.
sport, but he is a
Game
Super
on.
Series Maverick.
I was saying to you earlier, Phil, that if we think about it realistically,
81.
it's been a very up and down few years for Justin. I remember a time when he played in a Group B in Southampton in our previous studio, and he walked it.
100.
Over the 2 nights, he was the best player by an unfair margin. But unfortunately, something happened back in Wales, and he had to go home, and he couldn't play on the Saturday night. And the only reason
60.
that somebody else won that week is because Justin wasn't there. But this is his 5th season playing with us.
100.
He was there from the very beginning, playing from his place in Wales with all of us mere mortals, and he has continued to play with us ever since. The talent is still there,
96.
and he's now approaching an age where he could possibly kick on.
Do you remember those days from home with webcams and laptops and those hours of testing?
140.
I remember it well. And look at where we are now.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
36.
I think Gilliland has been
Justin,
caught in
you
a
require
tornado here.
161.
Because this has just been wonderful so far.
Yeah, currently averaging north of 109.
41.
The idea was right there. And even with the small 2 on the last dart, he's got himself within 3 dart range, which does not need the bull, unless he gets 2 of them, of course, which is something that Tom Sykes has done already this week on 120.
Justin, you require 120.
There it is. Double top.
Game shot on a second leg.
Stunning.
Justin Smith.
Absolutely stunning from Justin Smith. 2-0 up, averaging 103.66.
Third
And that
leg,
look
it's Justin
from
to throw
Gilly
first.
says it all.
Game
He
on.
has been caught in a crossfire, and he hasn't got a clue what is going on right now.
This has been about as sharp as the edges of his beard.
60.
And that's laser-like. This is the fear when you play Group B. If you get a slow start, you may already be chasing come round 3.
54.
3 spots at the top. 2 people will not qualify over the next couple of days. It feels as if you should qualify because there are more
97.
spots going through than will be eliminated. It's just not that simple.
I'm sure you must have been in this place as well when you know you're playing well,
90.
but just run into someone that doesn't miss. What's that feeling like as a player?
I think it depends on the mood you're in.
100.
If you're in a good place in your life and you're fairly philosophical about what you're up against, you can almost enjoy what your opponent is doing to you because it's proof that the game can be done
42.
in such a wonderful way. But if you're in a bad place, you'll look at the other person as if to say, oh, why are you doing this to me?
100.
Why me?
As Mario Balotelli once famously said.
I remember one weekend in Wigan where I lost in the board final 2 consecutive days.
100.
One day to Michael van Gerwen, the other to
Justin,
Gary
you require
Anderson, and both times I
144.
got battered. And they proved just how good they are.
100.
And I just stood back and said, well played. That's all you can do sometimes. And I'm not talking about 100 average. I'm talking
55.
about 10, 12 more
Justin,
than
you
that.
require 44.
But this doesn't need to be 110, 112. That'll do. Double 4.
40.
But for the first time he's
Chris, you
missed and he
require
gives Gilliland a
160.
chance, the man who's had the biggest finish of the week.
This may need to go, and it's not going to. Smith will return for darts
85.
and a 3-0 lead.
Justin, you require 4.
He's not
Shot on
messing
the
around.
Third leg, Justin Smith.
There was a real thud about that dart as well.
Yeah, but they stay thrown when they
Fourth
leave his
leg,
hand.
it's Chris to throw first. Game on.
I think if we were going to have a contest of people throwing their natural dart at a target 7'9¼ away,
100.
but we would measure how far the darts would travel, Justin Smith's might go a little bit further. He's up there with
60.
some of the most naturally ferocious players, throwing-wise, that I've seen through these doors.
Certainly through these doors, and there's probably only 1 or 2 in
60.
world darts that I can think of that throw them with more velocity than him.
Whitlock.
He was the one that was top of my mind.
100.
A German player called Eric Tautfest. It's astonishing when you see it. It's like he's throwing axes.
45.
Almost feels as if the bearded dragon has just tempered himself a little bit
140.
after an explosive start. And Gilliland's start has not been ideal, but I hope he's not suffering from the old dart lag going from the early session to the late
96.
session. I wouldn't imagine so. He's been through these situations many times before.
165.
He just can't miss at the moment. And Justin Smith will be thinking, get rid of Gilliland, and I can go through the card and all but book a place in finals tonight.
140. Justin, you require 36.
2 9s or a split. Wasn't comfortable.
28. Chris, you require
The right play
60.
or not?
That's what he does. You can't argue with someone's game plan if it has
Game
merit.
shot on the fourth leg.
But there's one
Chris
thing this
Gilliland.
week that maybe you can't do, and that's leave Gilly a chance with tops involved. He's
Fifth
been very
leg,
good
it's
in that
Justin
department.
to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, you can argue the whole not going for double 9 thing, but if you remember back in 2014 when Stephen Bunting won
135.
Lakeside, he had a game plan of laying up for everything, and it worked.
I like the clarity of thought, though, in the heat of battle, still knows what's going on and sticks to the
140.
plan, because we've seen before many times that in that battle you can lose sight of the game plan and just forget and go for it.
93.
I admire people who do it. It's maybe playing the game rather cautious, but the 2 examples in sport that I know of, you've got Bunting at the 2014 Lakeside,
135.
and you've also got Zach Johnson at the 2007 Masters, who decided to lay up for every par 5.
100.
And he won the tournament. You can't argue with a winning formula. Smith averaging just shy of 97. And remember, it was around 103 after 2 legs. So he has regressed.
$54.
I can't tell you how good that second dart is. It's just a way of bypassing that blocker and just saying, get out of the way.
He didn't even move on the oche, did he? He just went, I'm just going to just casually flick this one past.
42.
Very reminiscent of Luke Humphries,
Justin, you require
who
74.
can just almost make the dart move. He's making the counter move.
And the match, Justin
because that
Smith.
is brilliant from Justin Smith. In the end, his average wasn't 98, just a shade under. But the fact that he dominated that match against the person who finished second in Group A this week, and considering how good he is, that was an imposing display from the bearded dragon, who had a lot to admire in that contest. He wins by 4 legs to 1, and when we come back, oh yeah, it's hammer time, all right.
And here we go, as Nico rightly said before the break, stop. It is hammer time as Andy Hamilton returns to the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. But I feel this is a bigger game for Jamie Kelling right now, Paul, because it'll be interesting to see if there's a lasting hangover from game 1.
Yeah, fair point. That first leg of the entire session, I hope it's not living rent-free in his mind. He's got to put it away and reset. But he's up against the 57-year-old from Stoke-on-Trent. Has spent a great deal of time in Hampshire over the last few years as well. Has the hammer. And I'm not just talking about coming to the Modus Super Series, but he's up against one of the more local players that comes to Portsmouth. Andover's not too far away, as you know, Phil. Well, nice to see Hammer back here. Still hasn't got that elusive weekly title. Has been to a final before, losing out to John Worsley. And that list of players who have huge
First
reputation.
leg, it's Andy to throw first. Game on.
Huge desire, but no weekly title yet. Some of the greatest players to have played in the last 20 years are in that list. Adams has not won a week here in Portsmouth. Thornton hasn't. Leonard Gates has not.
41.
And Hamilton is in that list.
And it does eat them up as well.
They see people winning weekly titles and they think, well, why haven't I? They look at
57.
upstarts who come in here and do massive things. They might even look at someone like Jimmy Van Schie from the previous series and think, well, haven't you just started here? I've been coming here for years.
100.
Not that anybody's going to argue with Jimmy. He's about 8 foot tall. But that's the dart he's looking for, isn't it?
83.
Top of the 60, right in the middle. And the behaviour of the second dart on it, it means that he can nestle them together. If he gets that right in this game, he's got an excellent chance of 2 points.
Yeah, I just think
95.
for his own mental state as well, that if he loses this one as well, it won't be the manner of the defeat that eats him up. It will be the performance in game one and leg
81.
one he'll go back to. Because I'm still convinced that if he wins that leg, he goes on and beats Revellino. I know it's all if, buts and maybes, but the way that leg went, he was so far in front.
121.
That's why I've always said that if I wanted to be the best version of myself as a dart player, I wanted the memory of 10-second Tom from
83.
51st Dates.
And you require
I want to be able to throw 3
144.
darts and completely forget everything and reset every time. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We've got to adapt to these positive and negative situations.
61.
It's a bit of a mess there from Andy. The treble 19 was good, but darts 1 and 3, the radar wasn't quite working. But Kelling
43.
can't step in.
Andy, you require 83.
Are you asking him to step in?
I am asking him to step in.
How about a bullseye?
58.
Not quite.
Jamie, you require
So it's a
154.
big ask to take this first leg at this visit, but it's on. And you might ask why he didn't go for the 60.
78.
He's just proven why.
Andy, you require 25.
That dart hit the bottom wire and just sunk. Wasn't sat in its normal position.
You won't find a better single 9 than that.
Game shot on the first leg.
You won't find a
Andy
better result on a
Hamilton.
25 than that as well. An immediate hold for Andy Hamilton in 7 visits.
Second leg. It's Jamie to throw first.
He's 57
Game on.
now. I think a lot of players at his age are saying, I just want to compete. I
140.
want to continue to play and enjoy it. But you and I both know, Phil, how much work Andy still puts in. He still wants stuff.
Well, he's invested a lot of time in himself as well
108.
as he bangs in a max, but he looks great in himself. He's lost a lot of weight, but looks fabulous for it. And working on his health, and it's prolonging his career.
182.
Now we're cooking with gas, aren't we? Don't tell me that putting in the hours doesn't yield benefits.
57.
I see people who put in the hard work and what they get back from it. And great examples of that are people like Ross Smith,
100.
Luke Humphreys, Danny Noppert, Chris Dobie, some of the best pros out there right now. They look at things from every angle. And Andy's doing that right now
83.
for himself. He's not doing
Jamie
it for anybody
require
else.
81.
He's doing it for him. And I like that.
And Kelling levels it up.
Shot on the second
We
leg.
get a Bob
Jamie
Anderson
Kelling.
finger point as well from Kelling. But an 11-dart hold should
Third
give him
leg.
so
It's
much
Andy to throw
confidence.
first.
But you go back to the
Game
point about
on.
looking after yourself. Remember in lockdown when Bully Boy lost all that weight and looked fabulous for it as well? Then just investing time in yourself will only prove better in the end.
58.
I saw something online about 2 years ago, and I think about this most days. The first thing you do in the morning signifies how your day's going to be.
100.
And this person who was speaking online was quite high up in the US military, talking about the first thing you should do every day is make your bed.
Because if you do the first task, it sets you up for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
137.
Life consists of hundreds of thousands of choices every single day, but if your first one is a good one, you are setting yourself up for good choices for the rest of the day.
140.
I know you love your meditation and looking after your body. One thing that I've personally developed in the last month to 6 weeks is a cold shower in the morning as well. And the benefits from the cold water therapy, I think, is incredible.
99.
There's many ways to do it as well.
Well, I'd love a nice bath, but living in a flat, I haven't got one, so the cold shower has to do.
I'll have to get you one of those inflatable ones.
85.
They're all the rage at the minute. Well, that could be a nice forfeit for the people who lose their match up there. If you don't win, you go in the ice bath.
93.
Probably not the best thing to do when you've got only one game off and then have to come back on the stage.
This game's cooking now.
43. Andy, you require 114.
Well, Jamie's left himself on 133, which he is going to get a look at now. And gradually,
74.
people are starting to clue up to the
Jamie,
fact that
require
you must go 57
133.
first on this. But Jamie hasn't subscribed to that yet.
That's unlucky. That's a well-thrown dart that is just the wrong side of the wire.
$85. Andy, you require 40.
Not panic stations yet for Jamie. He'll expect to be 2-1 down. And he is.
Game shot on the third leg.
But this
Andy
is where you've got to
Hamilton.
scrape and scrap and fight. Get yourself level again and then
Fourth
give yourself
leg. It's
an
Jamie
opportunity
to throw first. Game
of
on.
breaking and making sure that you are in a match-winning position at some point.
100.
And he is fighting as Kelling fires in another maximum. I'm just saying, Paul, they're both on nines.
$140.
Sometimes all you can do is sit back and watch and see what happens next.
57.
The pleasing thing for me in this game, regardless of result, it's Jamie's attitude. Because the result in game one, it could have all unravelled for him.
145.
But this is far from it. Because he's on a 10-dart leg. If this goes, it could be winning legs in 11 and 10.
If you're winning legs like that on your own throw, you're proven to be very hard to
140.
break.
Jamie require 36.
Doesn't matter what kind of hammer you've got.
Game shot on
Wow.
the fourth leg. Jamie Kelling.
What a leg. And now he is
Fifth
level
leg.
again.
It's Andy to throw
What
first.
can he do against the
Game
throw?
on.
That's more like it. But based on this trend, you can't waste this kind of form. You've got to get the points.
82.
Currently averaging over 104. And to leave this game with nothing may hurt.
That first dart did find the 60, but again, it just had a little
86.
bit of a wobble to it. And that immediate switch was a good sign from Jamie, as if to say, I know my dart behaviours, when I've got to switch and when I don't.
Yeah, it just clipped that bottom wide, didn't it, as it nestled in the bottom of the 60 and
60.
just took some of the power away from it.
There's that perfect first one. Interesting what he was saying earlier about
140.
ambitions for Q School next year. I think if that's a decision he's made this week with his family, it's June the 6th for about another hour and a bit.
55.
He's got 6 months to get himself right. And this place could have a lot to do with that.
It's interesting. As many of you know, I've known Jamie for
95.
a long time, and I remember when he won the first Generation 180 prize. It was the first kind of thing of that era, that generation, and at the time there wasn't the youth systems in place to support players, and he basically at 15, 16 years old literally just got slung onto the Pro Tour.
108.
And he said, I looked to my left, there was Raymond van Barneveld. I looked to my right, there was Phil Taylor. And he felt, his exact words were, I felt like, what the hell is little Jamie Kelling doing here?
What's Andy Hamilton going to do here? Look what Jamie's done. He's left 40 after 12. And he is going to get a look at it. The legs that he has
42.
performed in this
Jamie
match has been to
40.
an extraordinary level. Double 10. Biggest start.
30.
Oh, the chances slipped by
Andy
potentially.
Require 82.
It was right in the palm of his hand.
And by that reaction, I think he felt that double five was in when it left his fingers. What a dart at the bullseye that is. Is that too close? Can he use the barrel, or is it going to bump off the side?
He thought that was in.
50.
It's a reprieve,
Jamie, you require 10.
but it is a reprieve on a dodgy odd number double.
Game shot on the fifth
He's
leg.
got it.
Jamie Kelling.
3-2 up, and you can see what it meant to him. This spurt of his has been very good
Sixth
to now.
leg. It's Jamie to throw
Now it's
first.
about finishing the job
Game on.
and denying Andy two somewhat unexpected points now from this first game he's played tonight.
58.
Kelling's been playing a lot of darts in ADC stuff recently, and I suppose when you consider where he lives, it's not a bad place to play ADC stuff because there's plenty of it.
Yeah, he's been playing 2 vaults a week.
96.
And he's played in the first 2 tour event weekends of the ADC. A couple of quarterfinals in there in good company.
He went to Middlesbrough, didn't he?
121.
It's like I said the other day, amateur darts circuit is propping up the Middlesbrough economy at the minute.
It's just nice that the amateur players, semi-pro, whatever you want to call them,
78.
have now got an established place to play regularly. That they know there's tour weekends, there's vaults.
57.
Now, what's Andy got left in this game? He will finish the campaign tonight against Revelino Dubois. He's got Justin Smith in game 8. And he's got Gilliland in game 5.
95.
No matter who you are, if you're coming into a night like this with a stacked group, you're thinking, if I get away with 4 points, that is not bad. But that's better than not bad.
171.
There's a real argument that darts like that should go in the maximum column for me.
That's why the 170 plus column was invented on some other graphics
57.
to
Jamie,
honour
you require
shots like that.
94.
And Kelling could have 3 singles here and just line up tops if he wishes, or he can just finish it now.
Game shot, and the
exquisite
match,
from Jamie Kelling. What a way to bounce back from defeat in his opening game. And you can see Andy Hamilton smiling away. He knows he was involved in something special there from Kelling. Finishes it in 15. But the 10-dart leg was the highlight from Kelling, averaging 101.72 to get his first couple of points on the board. But coming up after the break, it is the man of the moment, the bearded dragon, Justin Smith, looking to make it 2 in a row.
Welcome back to Portsmouth, and it's time to get another dose of the bearded dragon. Up against Revy Dubois, who did take full advantage of a somewhat slack first leg from Jamie Kelling earlier, but what he's done since then, my word, what a great performance that was against Andy Hamilton, including a 10-darter and a first ton-plus average of this group. He becomes the second person to get a 3-figure average this week behind Tom Sykes, who has got his feet up and is getting ready for Saturday already. But these two have already started with a win, but someone's about to get to 4 points, Phil. Who's it going to be?
Based on their first games, it's hard to look past
First leg, it's Revelino
the bearded dragon. If he
first.
produces
Game
the
on.
same kind of performance we saw against Gilliland, I'm not sure Revy has the scoring power to stick with him.
60.
The age-old question is, has Justin backed himself into a corner with his nickname?
43.
Because when you've got a nickname like the Bearded Dragon, it's not as if you can have a shave.
The shaved
53.
dragon.
See what I mean? Doesn't have the same effect, does it?
The thing is, it's a bit like
100.
when you look at Michael Smith now as well, that if they had a shave, would they look... It's like, what?
Yeah, it would look strange.
140.
Trends will change. I'm sure beards will become unfashionable in the next few years, but for now, you look cracking, lad. And he's a real character, as Justin. If you ever get the chance to spend 5 minutes with him, I dare you not to be smiling.
You will come out laughing.
100.
He finishes every sentence with boy. It's brilliant. It's such an individual action
Rivellino,
as
you
well.
require
It's
148.
rangy. The key points are brilliant. Oh, this is brilliant.
134.
Until dart 3.
Justin,
It's
you
a bit of a
require
red flag
124.
for Justin Smith. Can't afford to take this young lad lightly.
And Revy is going to come back for a hold of throw, but it's a tricky looking double 7.
56.
Dart 1 has
Rivellino,
to be
you require
aggressive.
14.
He can get past that high and left, but can he now?
No score.
Give it a very good try.
Justin, you require
Especially the
68.
way his darts kick as well. But Smith is going to get one more to break.
64.
Doesn't take it.
Rivellino, you require 14.
Somewhat surprising.
Game shot on the first leg. Rivellino
Rivellino Dubois might have a lot of lives in the bank tonight, but he's using them up.
Second leg. It's Justin to throw first.
If you
Game
said
on.
to him, use all 9 lives tonight, but you walk away with 6 points, would you take it?
Nope. Not at all.
100.
8 points and all 9 lives?
Yeah. Some people have won all 4 games on a Thursday night and qualified
41.
by not winning on a Friday night. Anything for a Saturday night chance.
I remember when
140.
Jared Cole did something similar, won all 4, and then he was left to sweat. And when I say sweat, I mean it was dripping off of him come Friday night.
100.
Yeah, Keelan Kay did it at the end of the last series. Won all 4 on Thursday. Everything looked rosy, and then
91.
he was feeling a bit like Jared come Friday because he didn't win on the Friday night.
100. Justin, you require 170.
We haven't had one this week. He's not going to show us the way either.
I did like
55.
Colin Lloyd renaming this on the Euro Tour as well. The big fish disappeared for the weekend, and it was the big jaws.
Well, he's got every license to do it, hasn't he? He's won a tournament, and not just any tournament. He's won the World Match Player with a 170.
130.
We did give it a
Justin,
new
you require
nickname in the Netherlands recently. We
115.
called it the Big Cheese.
99.
Just for the weekend,
Rivellino,
though.
you require 130.
I suppose this would be the little cheese,
65.
and you can only get half of it.
Justin, you require 16.
Double 8 for a level game for Smith. Clinical.
Shot on his second leg.
1-1.
Justin Smith.
Probably a fair result as well after the opening couple of legs.
Third leg.
2 holds
It's
to throw.
Rivellino to throw first. Game on.
But you just feel that at some point Smith is going to get opportunities on the Dubois throw because of the
100.
power scoring that is there.
Considering how he finished up in his last match. 97 average,
100.
4 out of 9 on the doubles, a maximum and a ton plus finish. And he slowed down to the end.
119.
It was the equivalent of watching Usain Bolt looking around at 50 metres.
96.
This level of Welsh darts is pretty healthy at the minute. You've got John Worsley, who never fails
39.
to make Saturday night when he comes here. This guy's got talent. Mike Warburton as well. There are plenty
98.
of good players in Wales outside of the PDC Tour system. But I've got to ask you the question. The PDC World Cup's coming up in a
43.
couple of weeks. Are Wales the favourites?
No. Second favourites for me. I think this is the best England team we've had since Taylor and Lewis.
100.
Don't you dare say darts is coming home.
I'm not going to utter those
It's a
words.
curse.
I just think this is the best England team since the greatest England team of Taylor and Lewis.
140. Justin, you require 107.
Soon find out. Double 16. That's what he
Shot
does.
on a third leg.
He'll pick you
Justin
apart doing
Smith.
things like that.
We said he'd carve an opportunity on the Dubois darts. And he has
Full
absolutely
flag. It's
taken that
Justin
with a
to throw
ton topper.
first.
107
Game on.
for Smith. He leads 2-1.
And he walks around the stage with such confidence, doesn't he?
There's a swagger to him, isn't there?
96.
It's as if he's done this a few times before, because he has. And if you want to try and paint a picture about Justin and some of the things he's done here, he's had some great battles. Some of them have been a bit feisty.
120.
But when he won his weekly title, he beat Martin Adams in the final. I mean, it doesn't get much sweeter than that.
134.
It's almost as if he comes alive on that stage. Because in the practice room, yes, he's a
96.
he is a joker, but it's just he comes up those steps and he almost transforms. A bit like Peter Wright, when he goes up those steps, he transforms
82.
into Snakebite.
I don't think a Welsh style or Dragon style Mohican would
140.
go amiss for this guy. I think it would suit him. That is one of the best skin fades I've seen in ages. That's a very solid effort, Justin.
100. Revelino, you require.
But Revelino's job is not to fade
145.
away.
He's definitely had a fresh cut for the Super Series, isn't he?
87.
That's not a bad
Justin,
effort,
you
and I really
require
like that board
89.
management. This is a chance, however, for 3-1 on double five.
84.
And he knew that wasn't in as soon as he threw
Revelino, you
it.
require 58.
Sound effects courtesy of Justin Smith.
38.
Oh, that was a big chance.
Justin, you require 5.
In a game where he could have been dominated. It could have been 2-2. Double one, somehow. Left or right?
3.
That picture
Revelino,
there
you require
showed you how
20.
tricky that shot was.
The flight was literally blocking most of the double one bed. And now Revelino has a chance to step in, but that's wayward.
15.
Never looked settled there
Justin,
for me
you
at
require
all.
2.
But this is not a gimme.
I bet he wishes it was.
Game shot
Maybe
on a
it
full
was.
flag. Justin
It is
Smith.
3-1, and Justin Smith, even when he's not playing his best, he's still picking up legs.
5th flag. It's Revelino to throw first. Game on.
We know that our Group A champion Tom Sykes was watching this afternoon. I'm sure he's
100.
tuned in this evening as well. Is Justin Smith just saying to him, enjoy your few days off because I am going to be joining you on Saturday night.
The way they play
60.
the game is not that different, is it? It's what I liked. I was thinking about this a lot earlier today.
31.
Sykes against Smith. It's almost smash mouth darts. Look at a target and wallop. Just chuck at it.
60.
If that were to be the final come Saturday night, that fans of the Super Series wouldn't be disappointed, would they?
No. People tuning in on the Modus Super Series YouTube
135.
channel will not be disappointed with that. I'm sure we wouldn't. And remember, if you want to see games a bit like that, potentially, you could
60.
be here on Saturday night, starting at 7:30, where the doors open an hour before that. Get yourself down to London Road in Portsmouth. £2 booking fee via that QR code or
28.
dartshop.tv. For more information, you can see our social channels as well at MSS Darts on X, Instagram,
60.
Facebook, and TikTok. And get yourself down to Portsmouth on a Saturday night and see this action from very, very close by.
57.
You will not be disappointed. £2 booking fee, 3 drinks for a tenner. Where else can you get a night out for 12 quid?
60. Revelino, you require
I'm
150.
racking my brain. I can't think of one. Now, 150 was a game changer this afternoon for Martin Turner.
41.
Unfortunately for Revy, he's nowhere near it, and he might be in trouble.
140.
Smash mouth darts,
Revelino,
all
you
right.
require
Didn't even think about the
109.
bull.
Yeah, Revy's not punished a poor leg here from Justin Smith because
93.
He had 4 visits without a treble,
Justin, you require 61.
but he knows that was a chance.
43.
That was a chance to win
Revelino,
the
you
match.
require 16.
And he hasn't taken it. Double 4.
Game shot on the 5th
And
flag.
he's just about
Revelino
still
Dubois.
there, hanging on by the skin of his teeth.
6th flag.
Bearded
It's
Dragon
Justin
has
to throw
missed
first.
2 match starts.
Game on.
Could have been walking off the stage a 4-1 victor, but now he's going to have to serve this one.
100.
Doesn't look too disappointed at this stage. I think sometimes
100.
it's going to happen. Occasionally, you're going to mismatch darts and have to go back for another try in the next leg.
140.
That's all to do with experience. You can't genuinely think that you're going to hit every match-winning chance you get.
108.
But is he going to get another one?
2.
The first maximum of this match goes to Dubois.
57.
And all of a sudden, has the tide turned here?
This is really good. The little cheese after 9 darts. Might as well call it that because he is from the Netherlands.
94. Revelino, you require 130.
Stay straight. Double 5. Oh, he's done a Taylor.
No score.
Darting disaster.
Justin, you require 110.
Not only has he missed, he's pulled it that badly. He's bust the 130. Paul Nicholson is speechless, and that doesn't happen very often.
Now he's got to come back and try and take
58.
it again.
Revelino, you require 130.
Where have we seen this before? That's right. Minehead. Taylor. But Taylor busted twice, didn't he?
90.
He did.
Justin, you require 52.
But the game might be bust for Revy.
Game shot
Justin
and the
Smith
match.
makes
Justin
it 2
Smith.
from 2, but Dubois will look back at that 130. It was a disaster. Look at them, the two of them are having an inquest there, and Dubois was just saying there, the dart came out of his hand at a funny angle and he dragged it in to the 12, but there are the numbers. 107 finish from Smith was the flashpoint in this game that turned the tide, but he tops the table as we go into our next game. Chris Gilliland and then Andy Hamilton both looking for a win. One of them will bag the points and one of them will still be pointless.
Thank you for joining us once again. The Modus Super Series here on Thursday night will continue, as it will be hammer time once again, as he takes on Chris Gilliland, the sole Northern Irishman here this week. Left a bit shell-shocked after that blistering start from Justin Smith in Game 2. But Hamilton was on the end of the best performance of the night from Jamie Kelling in Game 3. So one of these players who are yet to score is about to. But who's it going to be? That's what this one is all about. As we take the half-time break after this for about 2 or 3 minutes. And then after this, we will see Kelling against Justin Smith. You don't want to miss that.
Just want to get your thoughts on the Gilliland stance there, Paul, from that great angle we've got. It's very narrow, isn't it?
He's got a stance like a flamingo. Very, very narrow. Very Dimitri van den Berg.
It's Chris to throw
Yeah,
first.
as he steps in here, we'll see it. It's really narrow. That it's almost like 2 feet are planted together.
He's like a tree. It's not something that you would advise for most players. You've got to have a really
45.
strong core and a great centre of gravity to be able to do that. Can you imagine a tall player doing that? Absolutely not. They can't do that. They'd waver. But because
41.
Gilliland is a little shorter, that narrow stance works for him. And look at the amount of wavering from the front end of the body, from the right shoulder down to the right ribs. There's nothing. And that says to me that his balance is perfect.
125.
Coming into this tie, who will be able to take more from their opening round game?
$96.
I could almost say, ask me one on geography, because it's a 50-50 call. Hamilton had the better average, even though he did lose by 4 legs to 2, but he did get more legs.
50.
But they had different opponents, different challenges. I thought Hamilton stood up well to the challenge of Kelling. So marginally, if I was going to be forced to give an answer, I'd have to see Andy just a little bit.
108.
Good timing.
Timing's everything in this sport.
I'm not just talking about the fancy watches that some of the players wear.
85.
Although you don't see many players wearing a watch on their throwing arm, do you? I can think of only 2.
Whitlock.
And Mansell.
64.
But then again, there are players who wear a fair amount of jewellery on their throwing hands and wrists. Namely Martin Adams, who you'll see a bit more of in the early session tomorrow from 1 o'clock.
When Martin plays, it's the bracelet that he
100.
wears when it moves on his
And
wrist.
we require 120.
Ask him to play without it. He probably couldn't now.
Yeah, he's so used to it.
Can he get past that one? I think he can to the left. He almost did.
100.
Second
Richard
prize,
required
tease it up
96.
if he comes back.
Did he change his mind in
80.
motion there?
I
And
think
he
so.
required 20.
I think the eyes were set to go over the top of Dart. Why did he change his mind at the last minute?
Well, Hamilton's now got 2 assists on the right front post.
10.
Couldn't use them though.
Chris, you require 16.
Second chance for Gilliland to take the opener.
Game shot on the
Perfect.
first leg. Chris Gilliland.
Gilly takes the opener.
He's got a surname that sounds
Second
like a
leg.
bit...
It's Andy to throw first.
Well, how can I
Game
put
on.
this? Because I'm thinking out loud here. It sounds like a theme park. Welcome to Gilliland. What would you get at Gilliland? Bright shirts.
100.
Excellent darts. Good crack.
2.
I'd go. my kind of place.
30.
We've got some input from our live chat on YouTube, and some people are asking, what darts is Chris using? I believe they're a unicorn dart. Not 100% on
55.
which ones they are. But what I will say is the point is very long.
It's a very long dart, full stop, isn't it?
It is indeed. There's a small scallop towards the back.
95.
A wide grip pattern on the bottom. They've got a bit of coating. And that Pinocchio nose style point, which seems to grow. I assure you it doesn't. But it's not the kind of setup that
99.
everybody can use. In fact, try using
140.
something like that yourself.
Andy
I guarantee you probably couldn't.
167.
Good darts from Hamilton.
95.
But he's not into the safe zone yet. You could do with an error here from Chris, which doesn't look like it's going to happen.
And talking about the darts, that although Andy Hamilton has changed
108.
manufacturers and barrels over the year, it's always the same style, that little
Andy requires
bulbous
72.
type dart.
Another one of those. Top of the shop.
Game shot on a second
is so
leg.
good.
Andy Hamilton.
After the maximum from Gilliland to apply
Third
the pressure,
leg. It's Chris to throw first.
Andy Hamilton stands
Game
up.
on.
One dart at tops, that's all the hammer needs. Levels this up at one apiece.
Well, one thing I can tell you is that these are not darts that have been used by someone like Phil Taylor.
100.
I say we, it's actually Phil that looked them up online. We think they're called a noble dart.
Yeah, it looked like the Harrow's Noble.
39.
You know I'm a geek when it comes to things like that.
Consequently, somebody in our chat has just said, aren't they nobles?
100.
Well, thank you very much, Luke, in our live chat. I think we can confirm that's what they are. But if you think back to when Andy Hamilton started making World Championships, his dart was quite square
96.
on, straight from top to bottom. But I think he realised fairly quickly that he needed something to press against. And what I mean by that is when you've got a barrel that's like that of
60.
Paul Lim or Andrew Gilding or Ron Meulenkamp. Same sort of principle, something to throw against, having a meaty bit of tungsten in the middle, and then you taper again towards the point, gives it that
43.
Zeppelin look. This should be a max.
108.
I guarantee you this. He will not hit a better maximum than that all week. Timing-wise, he might. But as for positioning in the 60 from dart 1 to 2 to 3, he will not hit a better one all week.
Perfect from Gilliland.
108.
Replied with a postage stamp maximum from Andy Hamilton.
That's not the end of the world. He can stay on the 15s if he so wishes. Double top.
Game shot
Oh
on
my
a third
word.
leg. Chris Gilliland.
That's a great pick-off.
Fourth leg. It's Andy to throw first. Game on.
Andy Hamilton must be thinking, who did I upset on the way in tonight?
Should take it as a compliment. People want to beat him because he's a name. He's a scalp. Even for someone like Chris,
83.
who has been here many times and played many big players. It never gets old beating someone who's got a reputation.
Well, world finalists don't come along every day. So if you get the chance to take one
55.
out and add that to your darting CV, you're going to take it.
Every time I watch Andy play, I do cast my mind back to the 2012 World Championship, where he made the final, of course.
100.
I was within touching distance of playing him in the quarters. I would love to have played that game. That would have been fun.
Do you remember? It must have felt like a 2-year spell where, guaranteed, without fail, Andy Hamilton would get to the quarterfinals of the majors.
Hard work pays off. I'd love to know how many darts he's thrown in the last 20 years. Millions.
100.
He's not the kind of person who wakes up in the morning and thinks, do you know what? I'm not going to practice today. He thinks about when, how, and with who. Every single day.
100.
And how does it make me better?
He's not only been one of the best players of the last 20 years, but he has assisted some others. Lewis, Caven, Osborne,
44.
Taylor, White. The list goes on.
$55.
So 6 for the hammer to get rid of 174 and level us up at 2 apiece.
Well, based on the way that Andy's been rolling tonight, Chris is going to hit a 174 here. Well, it just so happens that he's not.
100.
But somehow he's found
Andy
that last
requires
dart.
74.
Just to ask the question. Key moments. As Andy will go for tops, but only just.
34.
This will be a game changer.
Richie require 106.
This will be the biggest finish of this match to take us ever closer to the halftime break.
And this would hurt as well, because as long as he keeps this straight, he's going to get a dart at tops.
86.
And the only surprise is he's missed.
Andy require 40.
He'd been sensational on tops up until that point. Hamilton gets a reprieve, a second chance for 2-all. But that's dragged low. Oh my, that's wild. But recovers.
On a 4 flag, Andy Hamilton.
Oh, I love this sport.
The reaction from Gilliland
5th flag,
was
it's Chris to
priceless.
throw first. Game on.
That was like looking at a broken sat-nav and still getting to your destination. Recalculating. Recalculating again. Oh, you're there.
83.
Someone has asked us in our live chat, how do you qualify for the Modus Super Series? I'd love to have a go. Well, John, thanks for getting in touch. And best thing you can do, really,
93.
is look at the website of the Amateur Dart Circuit. Find your local Vault Series, have a crack at those, and watch out for all of the information on the Amateur Dart Circuit website. And that will have the information to you.
140.
So, to give you some sort of roadmap to get here. And that is why we have people like Revelino Dubois through ADC Europe. And we've seen great stories from the British side of the ADC getting weekly winners here,
86.
which all started last year with Adam Mould. So that's your route here. We hope that's helpful.
Yeah, the pathway and the connections the Modus Super Series has with the amateur dart circuit,
140.
it's just brilliant for the sport. Gives players a pathway to come and play on a big stage with the lights, the cameras, and play for a lot of money as well.
42. Chris, you require 138.
That's a good adjustment.
86.
don't know about you, Phil, but I'm thinking this one might be going the distance.
Yeah, nothing between them at all.
And nothing has gone the distance so far tonight.
140. Chris, you require
Having said that, if Chris
52.
slips up here, you never know what Andy might do next.
Now, it's been a gritty performance so far from Hamilton. Will never give anything away easily.
Gate
But he's
shot on
gonna
the
have
fifth
to win.
flag, Chris Gilliland.
2 on the spin if he's to take the points, because Gilliland goes within 1.
Sixth flag, it's Andy to throw first. Game on. $100.
3-4-2 scorelines tonight, 1-4-1. And that was where Gilliland lost to Justin Smith. And if you're going to break, do it in the last leg. That's exactly what Gilly wants.
$96.
What you've got two with these two players is two aimers, in the words of our colleague Chris Mason.
140.
They don't tend to flow. It's always about the position of the dart in front of the eye. That's what they're trying to get right.
123.
And Gilliland has his chance to break. He has stolen the darts after 6. And he should, from here, get a chance to win the match.
Yeah, he's carved an opportunity here.
65.
And will return for 116.
I'm not sure which is his strongest route for this 116.
130.
Because he is about tops.
Chris, you require 116.
I'd have to say 19s, but I'm not sure he's going to use that. Oh, he is going to go that way this time.
It's the right way as well for me. But I'm not sure on that dart. Can he find the blocker? No, he can't. Because of the way his darts sit, that almost made it
56.
impossible.
Andy, you require
And Hamilton
52.
to send us the distance, looking at 52. It's going to be 2 at double 16. Is that a good guide or not?
20.
Can't use it, so Gilliland will
Chris, you
return
require 60.
to bag the points.
He's been hitting these shots this week. Can he do it again?
Game shot. And the
He
match,
doesn't mess
Chris
about.
Gilliland.
And Gilliland, who really was thrust into the basement when he lost to Justin Smith in the second match of the night, has found himself a very good performance there in lots of different ways. 3 maximums each in that game. That was an astonishing performance from both. But 4 out of 6 on the doubles and taking his first match-winning opportunity to break in leg 6. He is very much part of this group now. We'll take a short break, but when we come back to the action, it will be Justin Smith against Jamie Kelling.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they can just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
But what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree. Only needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you
Labanov.
saying about efficiency?
Game shot on the third leg. Reece
Is that
Robinson.
the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it.
Game shot.
And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so.
Andreas Harrison.
Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Smith, is it a
Darius
9? A long time, and that clenched fist.
Game shot.
He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth flag.
Just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
he needs the one. There you can see.
that she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality comparison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great dive.
Shot on the first flag. Andreas
It's
Harrison.
a breaker throw for Andres Harrison.
Shot on the second leg. Jack Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Well, welcome back, everyone. We are halfway through this Group B campaign, and Paul, it certainly hasn't disappointed. We gave it the big build-up, and it's lived up to everything, as we can see from the results so far.
I think tonight has been brilliant. I think we've seen some really confident stuff from Justin Smith. He's won a game with the darts 4-0 against Gilliland, but he's won against the darts against Dubois as well. Some good stuff from everybody else as well. That 10-darter from Jamie Kelling was a real highlight, but we've seen two games tonight that have had 5 maximums minimum, and that is astonishing to see in this format, and we've only gone halfway.
Yeah, we sat here over an hour ago and gave Justin Smith the big build-up, and he's lived up to it as well. We said we didn't know what version of Justin Smith we were going to get. We've got a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good one so far, but I think we can fairly say that there's more to come. This 120 checkout early in that game with Gilliland was a real flag for everybody to say, I think the good version of him is going to turn up tonight. His darts are going in with real comfort, because there have been times when he's come here and he's been uncomfortable with the darts in his hand. He's been struggling to find the right grip point on the barrel. He's got no problems with that tonight.
Performance of the session so far, though, is Jamie Kelling. Bounced back from defeat in his opener, and he was disappointed to miss all those doubles, but then a huge ton-topping average from him was really set a marker down for the rest of the group.
I think this is a marker of just how mature Jamie Kelling is and how assured he is with his game at the minute, because let's face it, after that first game against Revellino, he could have crumbled, but he decided to rebuild himself, and he got himself the points against Hamilton. He was sensational in that game, and Andy, who's got 20 years of experience, all he could do was just stand by and say that was exceptional, because his winning legs were world class.
Just looking at it, Andy Hamilton will be disappointed to pick up no points, but it's not as if he's not playing well. He's running to a couple of good performances, and the way this group is taking shape, he's going to have to get points on the board soon, though, to give himself a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if he walks away with 2 points tonight, he'll still be disappointed, but if he gets 4 now, he'll be elated. Someone is always in this position on a Thursday night where they have the slower start compared to everybody else. It just so happens it's the most experienced player on the stage tonight. He can respond. It's going to have to be good.
Halfway through the campaign, the table is taking shape today, and it's always interesting because it's a short race here, but Smith, Kelling, top 2 positions, Gilliland and Hamilton work to do.
I think everybody's still got work to do. I think the fact that we have a truncated format in Group B, nobody has got any time to sleep. And if you do, you'll find yourself out by this point tomorrow with games to spare. But even when you've won your first 2, you think, do you know what? I can do most of my yard work tonight. If I can get myself on 8 points or even 6, it minimises the risk of being eliminated tomorrow.
I'm going to break away from the Group B action for a minute. I'm going to preview next week's players, and it's an exciting lineup to look forward to. As we can see here, Group A, Kieran T and Jeff Smith, Jin Long, Adam Mould spring to mind, but Jeff Smith, the man of the moment, obviously what he's doing in North America, just played at Madison Square Garden and beaten Michael Smith. He's the standout name in Group A, I think.
There's a lot to admire about Group A. You've got weekly winners in Jim Long, and you've got Kieran Tian, who's won 2. Marino Michaels has won 1 as well. Unknown Quantity and Arne Speer. And I think with Adam Lipscomb here in Group B, I think if he finds his way through to Saturday night, good luck getting a ticket, by the way, because he is a ticket magnet.
But even in Group C, we've got Nick Fulwell, who's played at the Lakeside, bundles of experience, The Rock, Peter Hudson. It's just a real mix across the 3 groups, and real exciting to see this.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience there. And don't forget about Justin Hood as well, because he's won a week here. But I think Nick is celebrating his birthday today, so I think us announcing him for next week is the right time, because happy many returns to Nick Fulwell.
Yeah, social media says that and says it quite well. Remember, tickets are still available here, so get them quick. That's all I'll say. Look, Saturday nights here at the Live Lounge are explosive. If you want to be here, have a look at this.
Every Saturday, we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly.
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
Every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the Modus Super Series very soon.
And so we go on. It is going to be Justin Smith against the darts this time against Jamie Kelling. Both have had very interesting starts here in Group B in the first week of Series 8. Now, a lot of people around the world think that the number 8 is very lucky. And a series has been won on double 8 back in Series 2 when Raymond Smith won that one. And it just so happens that Justin Smith was in that Champions Week. It could have been him, but it wasn't.
First leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
I wonder if Series 8 is going to be his. He's got the capabilities of winning this series, but you've got to win step by step. And no, I'm not paraphrasing
45.
a 5-star track.
I'm Sham Agent. I thought you were going to go for New Kids on the Block.
I was waiting for you to say that.
100.
Is my music taste that well known now?
Yeah, it's just as bad as Mark Webster's. But it is step by step, isn't it?
Absolutely.
85.
Win your group, or get through your group, get to Saturday night, win the Saturday night, come back, Champions Week,
58.
win through your group there, then finals night and do what Andreas Harrison did. And boy, was that some climax.
Talking of
140.
champions and Champions Night, I can't wait for the day that it's possible for Raymond Smith to come back and defend the title he never lost.
100.
He hasn't had a chance to defend it yet. It's been over a year. Approaching 18 months, in fact.
83.
He's got the right notice. There is no telling what he can do because he is a special player. But so are these two, who've had really, really good starts.
81. Jamie, you require 148.
Yes. Series 2, Raymond was special. But this could be special from Kelling. Well, now just set it up because
140.
Justin Smith has been to the Ferret School of Counting.
140.
That's one way to leave double
Jamie,
11.
you require 8.
2 4s for the first leg.
6.
He might pay for that one.
Justin, you require 22.
3 more missed darts at double in the first leg of a contest. He's been there before tonight.
Game shot on the first leg.
he's picked
Justin
off.
Smith.
It was unconventional from Smith, but it did the job.
Second leg. It's
Going
Justin
back to
throw
that second
first.
dart, Kelling threw at double 4.
Game on.
I think his expression He thought it was in when it left the fingers.
There's nothing worse than that, really, when you think it's in, but it's not.
96.
But if you are new to Super Series action, we welcome you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out.
140.
And we have added some new content today with the aforementioned Johnny Clayton and Joe Cullen.
100.
Had a little glance at that myself earlier on this evening. It is a bit of a giggle fest. It can't not be with Joe and Johnny. So check that out on our social channels.
60.
Chuck us a like if you want. It would help us out. We hope you enjoy it.
They are like naughty little school kids, aren't they, together?
92.
It's just the way they are.
It's great.
You think they're putting it on for the camera, but that's exactly what they're like in real life.
100.
He's trying to bombard that 60 again past his blocker. It doesn't happen this time, but my word, he gave it
59.
a chance.
Yeah, I know it sometimes works, but I'm not sure it's the right play. The way he throws them, I think switching and going for an open bed sometimes would be more prudent.
130. Justin, you require 154.
That was the right thing to do. Shots on. Now, did he miss an opportunity there of going for the 60 twice for double 17, I wonder?
The way his darts stand up to attention, I'm following
80.
dart one and giving
Jamie
myself an
requires
opportunity.
71.
Double 10.
61.
Oh, no.
Justin, you
He
require
might pay the price for
74.
more misses.
It could be 2-0 Smith. But Kelling will be thinking he should be 2 to the good.
Game
It is
shot on the
2-0
second leg.
to the
Justin
Welshman.
Smith.
Kelling has had darts to win both the opening legs, but has
Third
nothing
leg,
to show
it's
for
Jamie
it.
to throw first. Game on.
Somebody pass Jamie the bucket. Because if you pass him it now, he will gladly vomit.
59.
It's exactly because of the situation you've just mentioned, Phil. He will feel like he should be 2-0 up himself.
140.
The way everyone else is beating everyone else, a win here for Smith. Has he got 1 foot in Saturday night's final?
46.
Let's say he's got a toe there. Let's be cautious.
60.
His final game of the night is against Hamilton. That's game 8. He's the first person to complete his quarter.
If he wins all 4.
140.
Is he there?
1 foot. I'm always too cautious when it comes to Group B. Anything's possible. Until you're mathematically there, do not relax.
140.
Smith is carving an opportunity here for 3-0.
58.
I'll tell you what
Justin,
Jamie
require
doesn't need.
161.
He doesn't need to be blown away. His leg difference is something he has repaired in his second match.
65.
He's currently 2 points in all square, but the last thing he needs is a heavy defeat.
Yeah, because when the groups are this
82.
close,
Justin, you require
leg difference
96.
could play a part. Double. Or this time,
Game shot on a
it's
third
brilliant,
leg.
but it makes
Justin
no
Smith.
sense. There is no game plan to Justin Smith whatsoever. Last time when he did that, he tried double.
Full
This
flag.
time,
It's Justin to
he's
throw
just gone round
first.
the blocker dart.
Game
It's magic, but it's bonkers as well.
Bonkers magic. We don't mind a bit of that here in Portsmouth.
100.
What was it Dan Dawson famously once said on the Euro Tour? Silly darts is better than good darts.
He's not wrong.
108.
We'll just take the good darts as well.
We'll be greedy. We'll have the lot.
60.
I suppose you could call these two young men Super Series veterans now.
Yeah.
Both weekly winners.
83.
They've done something that Adams, Thornton, Gates and Hamilton have not.
140.
And Kelling has been to 2 finals. He lost in a final in the previous series.
To Reese Robinson.
182.
Here we go again. We've had multiple matches tonight that have had a barrel load of 180s, and this one could just follow
58.
what we've seen with Gilly
Jamie
and
Maguire,
Hamilton,
58.
and previously with Hamilton against Kelling. That had 5. And this one is going to have a minimum of 5 legs. Thanks to that wonderful 11 darter from Kelling. Yet another 11 darter, I might add.
5th flag, it's Jamie.
Yeah, he's
to throw
averaging
first.
over 95, but
Game
trails 3-1.
Welcome to Thursday night.
135.
Which for a lot of different parts of England is Super League darts night. There's a lot of these players are used to playing Thursday
58.
nights. It's normally the night that they want to play their best darts, and that's what you're seeing.
140.
I know he's 3-1 down, but the signs are very good for Jamie.
Taking results out of the equation,
96.
he has really impressed this evening in the manner of the performances.
$59.
Would you like to enlighten our audience as to why he uses yellow flights? Because you'll know better than anybody.
It's something that he's always used,
60.
but it
Jamie
goes back
Maguire,
to
167.
the way the board is made up. He can always pick the yellow flight out no matter what darts his segment are in. And it's just something that he's
57.
got used to ever since he was a youngster and run with it.
And his nickname is?
JK.
He was once known as the Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
140. Jamie Maguire, 110.
Treble 18. At the minute, Jamie Kelling is very happy with his
86.
position. But if Justin hits this, he's
Maguire,
going to be Jamie yelling.
147. $43. Jamie Maguire, 24.
This was the combination that got him in trouble early on in the
Shot
day.
fifth flag,
But this
Jamie
time,
Kelling.
he puts it right. And right now, it's Kelling that's in the ascendancy here.
6th flag, it's Justin to throw first.
He'd be thinking
Game on.
early on, see, look, and that there, he's giving himself the come on, he knows. But Smith has other ideas.
182.
Every now and again, you see a 180 and you think,
57.
all 3 points look like they were part of one. Like they were moulded together. When he gets it right,
41.
it's thunderous.
$100.
It's good, but is it good enough? He's a dart behind. And Smith retains the throw. And here he goes again.
100.
Throwing them harder and harder and harder.
Kelling needs another just to let him know he's still there.
100.
It's a good visit, but it's not enough.
You do sense that the match start is incoming. And there's nothing that Jamie Kelling can do about it. He can't get to a
60.
finish.
Justin,
and
you
defeat could
require
be imminent.
80.
I'm not sure how much he can see of this.
Game
What
shot
a dart
and the
that
match.
is.
Justin Smith.
It was at a funny angle. It was a blocker, but he found a way past it. And the Bearded Dragons' perfect night continues. He sees off Jamie Kelling in a high-quality contest as we see the numbers both over the 90 mark. 3 maximums in the game, but 4 from 4 on the outer ring from Smith did all the damage. His brilliant night continues. Coming up after the break, can Gilliland get back to winning ways? Welcome back, everyone, as we get our breath back as Justin Smith is setting the pace here in Group B. 3 from 3. He's one win away from the perfect night and all but booking his place at Saturday night's final. But Chris Gilliland will be looking to find something here. Went down 4-1 to Justin Smith.
First
beat
leg,
Andy
it's
Hamilton
Revelino to
4-2.
throw first.
Gilly will be
Game
looking
on.
for something. Was the favourite at the start of the night.
This is their 4th meeting of the week.
96.
Every single game they've had has finished 4-2. However, the one time that Revy beat Chris was on Tuesday,
43.
when he just seemed to slow down a little bit in the stakes. It's hard to really decipher whether Monday or Wednesday was stronger for Chris,
140.
because he got 8 points on Monday and 8 points on Wednesday. But I think the way he played at the start of Wednesday showed his real spirit. Because he could have
59.
easily cowled in the corner and said, well, Tom Sykes is in Saturday. I'll just get my Group B spot and play my best stuff on Thursday and Friday. He didn't do that.
95.
He challenged Sykes to the end.
Yeah, said to Tom, if you're going to win this group, I'm going to make you serve it out. And turned it into
43.
a fabulous spectacle on
Revelino, you
Wednesday.
require 170.
This is a
96.
brilliant start from Revy. 2 after 12. And let's not forget about him. If he can spring the surprise in winning this one ahead of playing against Andy Hamilton
55.
in Game 10,
Revelino, you require 74.
he might just be one of the biggest surprise packages we've ever found. Tremendous
Game shot on the
rhythm,
first leg,
great
Revelino
accuracy,
Dubois.
and he picked that off perfectly.
Second leg, it's
When he
Chris
gets
to throw
that rhythm
first.
right,
Game on.
he can be scary.
Yeah, we've seen glimpses of absolute genius from him.
I just wonder where his ceiling's at, though.
100.
His best performance of the week came on Tuesday, where he averaged just a shade over 92. Well, that's not a bad ceiling to
139.
have when you've only been playing at a decent level for a couple of years. But with this experience, I just wonder where his ceiling is going.
140.
What kind of ceiling do you think he has to have to be successful here?
I think to go on and win a week,
58.
or even win a Champions Week, you have to have a ceiling of 110, 111, because some of the players that we have here and we know what they're capable of. We look at the John Hendersons, the Steve
100.
Wests, the Darryl Pilgrims of the world. We know what their ceiling is, and if they go to that place, we know the numbers they're going to post.
60.
Right now, I'm not
Richie
sure
require
Revy has that ceiling.
161.
Can he get there? I believe so. We're seeing he's still a short way into a young journey here. So, can he develop that? Absolutely.
99.
Well, let's pick that apart in the next leg, because it brings up a valid point about what you need to win a series.
96. Chris, you require
62 for Gilly to draw level.
Game shot
How
on
good
the
is that?
second leg. Chris Gilliland.
And he wore this top tonight, apparently, because we were saying on Monday it could be seen
Third
from the
leg,
International
it's
Space
Revelino to throw
Station.
first.
It's so bright.
Game on.
He took it the right way. However, if you look at the series
40.
winners, they've all got something in common. They all have a very high-level game in them. And I'm talking about a single match. So if we go in chronological order,
121.
Conan Whitehead, what have we seen from him? 105 plus. On the Pro Tour, 115. Raymond Smith, about a 110.
100.
Littler, 117. He won the next two series. Jim McEwen, we know he can go above 105 to 110. Scott Taylor, 109.
42.
Andreas Harrison, 117. He's starting to get the picture. If you want to win a series here, you've got to have that ridiculous game in the locker at some point.
50.
Yeah, at some point you're going to need it when you're tested against another elite player at this level. You have to have that turbocharged button to go to. We saw for years that MVG had it,
100.
Taylor had it, Littler, Humphreys, Price. When they're pushed, they respond, and it's the same here.
And people are falling backwards because they don't have it.
59.
But in order to get to Saturday night, you need some good, steady stuff constantly.
95.
Just get to the finish here to give yourself a chance of winning leg 3 on your own throat.
99.
And that was a gutsy switch.
Pressure
A
required,
lot of people wouldn't have switched there, but
143.
I can understand why he did it.
But it is still a break opportunity for Gilliland.
$81. Revelino, you require
62 again.
153.
Could it be the magic number?
41.
Same MO.
Pressure required 62.
Treble 10 for double 16.
Asking ye shall receive.
46.
Not this time.
Revelino, you
Different
require
outcome.
112.
Revelino likes to upset the apple cart, but that is a horror blocker. Treble 20, double 17. Well, it just so happened he was very close to getting the 54. Don't forget that there are different routes. If you think that's your only chance,
51.
it doesn't matter what
Pressure
double
requires
it is
16.
that you can leave. Just leave one.
Gilliland for 2-1. Just clip off and nestle in the corner.
No score.
How has that not gone in?
Revelino, you require
Did you see that first start
61.
move?
Yeah.
He made it move. Double 18. I like this. And I'll tell you
Shot on
why.
the third leg.
Because a lot of the
Revelino
times he's
Dubois.
gone for it this week, he's gone in rhythm. And he's realised that he's gone low a lot.
Fourth flag. It's Christopher
took a moment
first. Game on.
And figured that out. That was elite thinking there from Revy.
Very impressed in the moment from Dubois.
55.
Going back to your way on counting around the board, do you not think that
100.
setup play and finishing has gone to another level over the last 2 years? The way players are creatively using the board to finish arguably better than they ever have done.
97.
It has evolved, and I'm sure it will evolve again. I think the numbers that we're seeing being left and the way the board is
41.
being used to leave the finish, I love seeing it. 271, people are going 19s, using their last start more creatively, but if I may say
100.
so, it's the use of the first two darts to allow them to use the 25 and bull at the end to give them the shots they want to have. It's people like Dimitri Vandenberg who need
46.
the credit because they're the ones who are showing us the way. And we're not going to get every player here in Portsmouth because this is the second level of darts here. They're not all going to subscribe to that elite level of counting because it's not part of what they do.
140.
But they really should. Oh, look at that.
177.
What a visit that is. How did he get that
Pressure
second
required,
dart in with sheer
109.
force out? That's what it was.
The 177 gets him back into this leg.
92.
What a final dart.
Check 93.
From Gilliland.
Revelino require 137.
Tops. Another. Magic.
Game shot on a fourth
Absolute
leg.
magic
Revelino
from Dubois. The 137. It's a 15 dart break of throw. He leads Gilliland 3-1.
Revelino to throw first.
And the Gilliland expression there
Game on.
says it all. Paul Nicholson, where did that come from?
I'm trying to think of the words to describe what we've just seen in the last 6 darts from Revy.
45.
That may just be the sign that tells us how good he can be. That was genius. And not just the 137 out, but the 177 to leave it. Serious darts.
140.
Is that the best passage of play we've seen from him this week?
Yes, it is. We've spent a lot of time talking up Justin Smith tonight
56.
and Jamie Kelling and Gilliland and Hamilton. We do not forget about Dubois.
85. $140.
314 points in 6 darts. I dare you to try that at home and see how many times you get it. That's hard.
45.
That's not one of those get out of jail free card shots where you can go to the 25 on the last dart. It's a tricky number. And he's done it a way that most people wouldn't even try.
Absolutely
83.
incredible.
And if he gets himself onto 4 points
95.
and he plays this kind of stuff against Hamilton later, he could cause Hammer all sorts of problems. But the job isn't done here yet.
12. Christian require 136.
Oh dear.
You're starting to sound like Chris Mason.
It's one of my favourite May sayings.
I think he does say it better than
58.
anybody else.
It's just the pitch, the tone of it.
And the sheer throwaway nature of it. Oh dear.
65.
Well, at least he's cleaned up the
Christian
65
requires
now.
78.
He might even have a match-winning chance in a second.
Yeah, no other words needed.
Keeping it simple. And leaving tops.
Game shot on a fifth leg. Chris Gilliland.
I think to categorise Chris Gilliland, we'd have to ask Nessa from Gavin and Stacey because he
Sixth
is
leg.
tidy.
It's Chris to throw first. Game on.
It's just what he does. He's an international player and has been for years. You don't do what Gilliland does without being classy. And this is a guy who this year has broken his
100.
elbow. He's only just coming back.
You say it was tidy, and I completely agree. But as Dubois takes out that
100.
137, is he thinking, oh, what's occurring?
You should save that for Justin Smith. Oh, that's right, because he's playing next against Hamilton. I suppose we could classify that as a bit of a Gavin and Stacey
134.
game. England versus Wales.
Are you excited for the final
43.
Christmas special?
I know you are.
I can't wait.
I'm more excited about Christmas darts.
140.
One of my favourite times of the year.
Is there something going on over Christmas in the darts world, is there?
Yeah, I think there might be. You never know, you might see Dubois there.
Pressure require 127.
He could win the Western European qualifier and get himself to Ali Pali.
That's when we go into the Big Brother house for 3 weeks, isn't it?
Someone's not going for the ball
87.
sensibly. I think we're going the
60.
distance.
Chris, you require 40.
And remember, we've had a chance of going the distance tonight, but we have not done it yet.
Game shot
Now
on the
we are.
sixth flag, Chris Gilliland.
Ask him a question. He will try and give you an answer. And for the first time this
Seventh
week,
and
these
final
two will
leg.
have a
It's
deciding
Revelino
leg.
to throw first. Game on.
Dubois has the darts, but the manner of the last two legs is Gilliland favourite.
It
83.
does feel, since that 3-1, 4 and 6, that Dubois has somewhat regressed. But it is a very even game, with brilliant smatterings of that and a little bit of average in between. And
55.
miraculously, that's the first maximum of this match. Although we've got to have a hat tip to that 177. It technically is a maximum.
100. $60.
Do you see a bit of yellow Clarkson in Revy?
I do, yeah.
Throws with a bit of ferocity. Counts well.
105.
Yellow Clarkson wasn't bad at 22 years of age.
I would expect downstairs first. Love it.
79.
He doesn't now.
Chris, you
He
require
may have relinquished his
116.
chance, and he's walking away from the board, crestfallen. That's so good. Double top to win in 12. My
shot
word,
and the
what a
match,
kick that
Chris
was
Gilliland.
from Chris Gilliland, who wins the final three legs after that incredible 3-1-4 from Revy to take a 3-1 lead. It was Gilliland who took it on the chin, Steve Collins style, and after 3 from 3 on the doubles, it was Dubois who lost the match to the ultimate class of Gilliland, who gets to 4 points first. When we come back, it will be Justin Smith finishing his quarter of matches up against Andy Hamilton.
Welcome back, everyone, as Justin Smith prepares to finish his Thursday night campaign here in Group B. So far, he is perfect. It is 3 from 3 for the Bearded Dragon, looking to make it 4 from 4 and move himself to 8 points and all but seal his position in Saturday's final. But Andy Hamilton has run into a few performances this evening, Paul.
Hasn't he just? Got to be careful here not to be 3 from 3 himself in defeats. Should take it as a compliment, really, that people want to beat him that much. But the last couple of matches have proven something. Being 100% on your doubles can get you a win. It was good enough for Justin in Game 6 against Kelling. But 100% on doubles for Dubois got him nothing.
First leg, it's Justin to throw first. Game on.
First things first, get at least 4 chances at a double. Because if you don't, you're going to lose. Well, this guy's got to be really happy with the way tonight's gone. It's not just that smash mouth style that he's got. The doubles have been good. He's found 12 from 24. 50% for the night.
38.
I like his mannerisms on stage as well. He's one that doesn't hide his emotions too well. If it's not going his way, you can see that and sense it as well.
68.
But I like what I'm seeing from Justin Smith.
Seen a few different Smiths down here in Portsmouth, haven't we? We're going to see another one next week. Jeff Smith is back.
I can't wait to see the silencer
134.
back here at Modus Super Series.
He's got some Canadian representation with him here.
46.
With Jim Long being here.
Again, another fabulous player from North America.
Just a little matter of 5 previous weekly champions in next week.
Yeah, it's an absolute stacked lineup.
58.
Week 2 of Series 8. Chris Contock, Justin Hood, Adam Mould. The list goes on.
100.
We're starting to see it a lot more now with us getting very close to our 2-year anniversary of playing here in Portsmouth. More weekly champions per week than ever. And this is what we were talking about.
171.
This 271 number.
Justin, you require
Doing the right thing from that number. And Hamilton, he's not an old school counter. He's doing the right things in the right moments.
And all of a sudden, Hamilton has an opportunity on the Smith darts because of the fabulous
50.
171.
100.
That's why you go the 19s. You get the maximum down there. You set up the 2-darter. But it's going to be Smith who has
Justin,
the
you
chance
require
potentially
97.
to take this first leg.
Treble 19 for tops. 2 at tops.
1
at 10s.
77.
And for the first time
Andy, you require 56.
this evening is a rare miss from Justin Smith.
And a rare reprieve for Hamilton. This department's got to be sharp. And it is.
On the first
from the
leg,
former world
Andy
finalist.
Hamilton.
Hard to believe that was 12 years ago.
Second
We're talking
leg,
about a
it's
guy
Andy
who
to
has
throw
played
first. Game
in
on.
some of the best places on earth. He's played at Lakeside. He's played at the O2 in London. He's played at the Etihad Stadium, known as the Marvel Stadium in Melbourne.
96.
He's played all over the world. Done the Premier League tour.
108.
Been to the finals of majors.
2.
Suffered many a 180 thrust in his face, just like that one.
One thing we haven't seen yet this evening is the famous hammer roar.
100.
I think he's been waiting for a winning moment for it. He hasn't had it yet. Now, what does he do for 305? With Justin a dart and a half ahead. What's the play? Now we can't leave a finish. This is what we've been talking about tonight, Phil.
48.
The ability to continually leave a finish dart on dart. After a single 20, you can't on 305.
100.
If you go 15s, 18s, or 25, you can. This is the kind of stuff that elite counters are starting to implement.
Yeah, creative counting.
It's the soft tip mentality. And if you don't know what that is,
43.
it's never waste a single
Justin,
dart.
you require 121.
Because if you do, you run the risk of losing. That's only just starting to transcribe its way into steel tip darts.
96.
Again. Smash mouth style. See a shot. Let's have a crack.
$24. Justin, you require 25.
It's going to be 2 at double 8 to break straight back.
21.
I shouldn't really have started singing his praises on the doubles because ever since I said it, he's missed everything.
As well, should that been a more professional dart? And if you're going to miss on the outside,
60.
because 2s can get messy
Justin,
quickly.
you require 4.
And now with Hamilton on a finish, that was the
Game
right thing
shot
to
on
do.
the second leg, Justin Smith.
Let's take a question from our live chat then.
Third leg.
As long as you're keeping it nice out there, we'll
Game
answer
on.
a couple of your questions. Someone's asking, when is Chris Mason playing again? I think he's one of those people at the minute where 24 hours in the day is not enough.
140.
He's got a lot of balls in the air, and that guy is juggling a lot in his life. We're just happy to have him down here, whether he's commentating or playing.
And we keep asking the question. We want to see Mace back on that stage.
60.
But I don't think it'll be this year, and that's what my gut tells me.
Time will tell. We'll keep you posted. Well, thanks for your question,
45.
Daniel. That's an intelligent switch, isn't it? As soon as that first
96.
dart's low, he's not got the same delivery method as Justin. He can't get past that blocker as much as his younger opponent can.
59.
And here's a question for you, Phil. I don't know what you think about this because I feel quite strongly about this. Does Wales, as a country, get enough attention for tournaments in Wales?
100.
In the PDC?
No.
Thank you for agreeing with me. And I said the word Wales twice for a purpose there. Because they have one
140.
day per year for one of the strongest darting nations in the world who have won the World Cup twice. And they get one Premier League night. No, I'm not having it.
I'm with you.
58. Justin, you require 117.
Give them a couple of Players' Championships at least. Tops.
97.
It's all about venues, though, isn't it? You've got to have infrastructure. Why do Players' Championships go to Wigan? Why do they go to Milton Keynes and Leicester? Infrastructure. Not
57.
just the hall, not just
Justin, you
parking, the
require
hotels
20.
and other amenities.
Let me see if Justin Smith takes this out. But I've got a question for you as well. I know I'm not sure he can get around this. He loves a blocker dart, but this has to go top bins.
He might be throwing this from Wales. Oh my
Game
word.
shot on a third leg.
What have you
Justin
just
Smith.
done? Seriously, look at the angle it went in. Even Pythagoras couldn't solve
Fourth
that one.
leg. It's Andy to throw first.
Magic
Game
from
on.
Justin Smith.
He did that like it was normal. That was abnormal.
Going back to
58.
Players' Championships events and the way the PDC and Matchroom have evolved over the years, are you amazed that they haven't built their own purpose-built arena
60.
in the middle of the country to host all these pro tours, not just for darts, but all their other sports like snooker and whatever, and just have everything in the centre of the country that they control as well, that it's their venue. Purpose-built to host these events.
Well, if you think about all of
80.
the structures in certain parts of the country that are, I think the word derelict is a bit too strong, but something that may be in a state of bad repair. If Matchroom Sport were to take something on and custom fit it, I think the players would be delighted. If it was in a good location close to the right airports and motorways and train
99.
networks, I think the players would say absolutely right the thing to do, and they could completely sheriff the whole place. I am surprised they haven't done it.
80.
But there's still time. It's not as if we're playing a sport that needs different course conditions like golf. They need to be the
40.
same conditions every time. Look at this place. This is where we play the Modus Super Series every single time. And the conditions
57.
are as close to perfect as you will find. And that's the kind of power the PDC do have. They could replicate this for the Players' Championship events. Just a thought. And just brilliant. From someone who has won multiple PDC titles in different locations.
58. And he require 44.
Timely maximum from the hammer. It's going to be 2 at double 16 to level us up. Brilliant.
Game shot on the 4th flag.
From Andy Hamilton. That fighting spirit, that quality that he's always possessed is still
5th
there.
flag. It's Justin to throw first. Game on.
Not at his best, Paul, but he is scrapping for everything here.
Always has been.
100.
Even when he was struggling in PDC darts, Andy was still scraping and scrapping. It's always been difficult to beat. Show me one career that's had the same upward trajectory to retirement.
134.
Nobody has ever had that in any sport. Ups and downs, that's what it's all about. And your character is built
140.
on how you handle the downs. I've got a few decent Andy Hamilton stories.
60.
Spent time with him all over the world. Canada, Australia, all around Europe.
140.
Spent a fairly eventful birthday with himself and Colin Osborne once in the Netherlands. That's a really good story for off the air.
Is that for Darts After Dark?
Slightly.
98.
But I will say,
121.
he's got one of the best laughs I've ever heard. I'm not sure he's going to be laughing after this, though. He's been drawn into another battle here.
89.
And what can Andy do? Can he even leave 32? Not now.
81. Justin, you require 32.
This is for a 13 darter.
Game
And he
shot
gets
on the
it.
5th flag. Justin
He's one
Smith.
leg away from a perfect night. And imagine the glee that swims through your
6th
veins
flag.
and your
It's Andy
arteries.
to throw first. Game on.
If you're the first person to finish and you're the one who's bagged the 8 points, see you, lads. I've done my job. See you tomorrow. And they've still got 2 games to play.
60.
He could actually be in bed before the last match starts.
In terms of mind games in the players' room, if it was me, I'd walk back in and go, I'll see 2 of you on Saturday night.
I'm not sure Justin would do that, but it would be a fairly courageous thing to do. And another game where we're getting maximums from both. Make that 5 for this game. He just refuses to go without a fight.
60.
I love the grit and determination he has.
He's the kind of dart player that walks out of his accommodation every time and he leaves the white flag at home.
140.
One, 2, 1 after 9 for Hamilton.
57. Andy, you require 121.
He's saying to Justin Smith, if you want the perfect day, you are going to have to serve it. Double 18 for 121. Magic.
Shot on a six
Absolutely
leg.
brilliant from Andy Hamilton. And look, the smile from them both. I like that.
7th and final leg.
Proper
It's
game of darts,
Justin to
this.
throw first. Game on.
Even at 57, I think Andy Hamilton really enjoyed that 12 darter.
59.
As he should.
And early on, there's a chance here. Smith has opened the door.
He's not just opening the door to Hamilton. He's opening the door to everybody.
66.
These are 2 key points on the line here. It could be the difference between Andy having an opportunity for 4 points tonight,
45.
or 2, or none.
Hamilton's thinking 2 trebles minimum. But not that treble.
55.
He's been unable to punish the mistake, the opportunity that Smith has given him. And you just feel that Smith won't keep giving him opportunities.
57.
But he has. How many times tonight have we seen Smith better off than 340 after 3 or 6 darts? Never mind 9.
And that is a perfect first start. That's saying 180.
140.
He's a ton ahead. Smith's got to get moving. Constantly low on the first shot.
59.
Now we can smell the chance. Got to get the finish first. Can he do it here?
43.
Not quite. You can see the disappointment in his stride.
If he wins this leg, we may get the famous hammer roar.
100.
Can't really be separated. I know they're apart by 16 points, but what is 16 points at this stage? It's basically nothing. Oh,
90.
what a last start that is. Everything we've seen before is irrelevant.
65.
This is all about
Andy,
the
you
now.
require 107.
Andy Hamilton, is this your moment? 107. It's a happy accident.
30.
I was just about to say that could have gone a lot
Justin, you
worse,
require
but
116.
it could have gone a lot better. But things might take a turn for the worst, as Justin Smith now has a chance for 8 points and a perfect night.
It was risky, but it's won at double 18 for the perfect day.
98.
Match dart missed.
Andy, you require
He
77.
never looked comfortable on that double 18.
Couldn't make his mind up, could he?
We know where Andy's going now. Straight down the middle. Straight into the middle, hopefully, to get his first win of the night the hard way.
Bullseye for Hamilton. Oh, it's
52.
grazed the wire.
Justin, you require
He knows that was
18.
close.
And Smith couldn't look. He thought the game was finished. But there may be one more twist as he splits. Oh, and
No
it came out of the
score.
hand wrong.
Andy, you require
What a chance for
25.
Hamilton to rescue the win. A weird leg, but it could be a winning one.
Surely. That's a great guide. Can you graze off the barrel, Andy Hamilton?
Game shot.
Yes, you
and the
can.
match.
Andy Hamilton has ended the perfect day for Justin Smith. Gets himself on the board. He rode his luck a little bit towards the end. Smith missing multiple match starts. But that is a huge result in the context of Group B because it keeps everyone else in the hope. Justin Smith does not go perfect. And it's all to play for coming up after the break. This is a huge contest for both players. Chris Gilliland takes on Jamie Kelling.
Welcome back to Portsmouth, to the Live Lounge. And it's now an opportunity for somebody else to finish their campaign on a very decent high. However, Justin Smith had a chance to finish on a high, but he blew it. The Dragon ran out of fire. But it's still a decent night, 6 points, and a leg difference of +6. A very solid base to find his way to Saturday once again. But it will be Gilliland and Kelling to finish their quarter now. And with Kelling on 2 points and Gilly on 4, it could be the man from Northern Ireland who again goes under the radar and finds his way
First leg.
very
It's
close to that
Christopher
of Justin
first.
Smith at the end of the night.
Game on.
Is it going to be that, or is it going to be a bit more joy for Kelling after what could be described as a very up and down evening?
Yeah, and you touched on it there that Gilliland has more points than Kelling, but if you look at the
78.
performances, I actually think that Kelling has played better than Gilliland this evening.
$58.
I think we can almost discount the first game, because that was all about the first leg. But I think if you'd offered Gilliland and Kelling 4 points each at the start of the night, they would have said, after a bit of thinking, that's not bad. But you and I both know, Phil, dart players are never happy.
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you one who was feeling pretty good tonight, a certain Luke Littler. Don't tell me dart players aren't superstars 95. These days. He's only just gone and surfaced in the England squad announcement for Euro 2024 today. Wow.
Yeah, when you get picked to be in a video announcement like that, you know you're doing something right.
$99.
Can't forget as well, it could be a good summer for Scotland. And Scotland have a chance in Group C tomorrow, or should I say later today. Because Stevie
60.
J, Stephen Johnston, will have a chance of making his first Saturday from Group C later on. Hope he can join us from 1 o'clock for that. 76 left for Northern Ireland's sole representative here this week.
54.
He's also promised to wear his very red polo shirt tomorrow.
43.
As Chris.
Chris, you
after
require
I
40.
categorised it as him looking like a postal worker. Because he does like the red double at the top as well.
Game shot
just
on
like
the
that.
first leg, Chris Gilliland.
Well, let's try and figure out how he hit that. Because his darts are flat.
Second leg.
He doesn't like stacking them underneath. So how does he do it? Hits it from the side. He glances off the dart and hits it from the left-hand side
59.
of the barrel. It's a rare play, but he can make it work. It's a very good evening to Johan Brouwer in our live chat. Hope you're well, Johan. You definitely lit up week 12 in Series 7. I don't think we're going to forget you anytime soon.
119.
Absolutely not.
Good luck in your future exploits. We hope you qualify for here once again. We'd love to see you back here.
41.
That's not a bad first start for the man who likes a bit of yellow.
99.
But what do you think he's feeling right now?
Disappointment, I think. Because I just look at it, he will feel that he should have more points to his name.
58.
The performances have been good enough to warrant more points, but ultimately hasn't converted those chances.
I've just had a little chuckle to myself because
60.
Someone in our chat has likened Jamie Kelling to William O'Connor. I can see what you're saying. With the style, the way he goes about things, I get it.
121.
It's not the worst compliment in the world. He has won a PDC title and he's been to a World Cup final.
$40.
That's a mistake, though, because Gilliland can pile the pressure on here.
What number's he thinking? 145? That's what he was thinking.
87.
If I'm being critical, I'm not sure that dart should have been there on dart 2.
We know that dart 2 there was not
56.
in the intended target.
Chris, you require 94.
Where's the second one going here? Treble 19, that's where.
Fabulous recovery. And there it is. It's a masterclass on the outer ring from Chris Gilliland. It was a mistake on dart 1, and the reaction from Kelling says it all.
Game on.
That was eye-rolling emoji in one. As soon as that double 18 went in, he said, oh, you've got to be joking.
Yeah, they hurt as well
95.
because Dart 1 is so poor, it's ended up being good, if you know what I mean, because it's giving him an out still.
60.
There are times when you think to yourself, and you can't help but think this way, I'm not sure tonight's going to be my night. Especially when you do what Jamie's just done. Where you've thrown 3 really good shots, and every single one of them is above the treble wire. Just like that. And he's done it again.
100.
His last 6 darts have been delivered so well, but only 1 treble from the 6 shots.
Well, I'm just looking. If Chris Gilliland goes on to win this game, and it's still an if at the moment, and Andy Hamilton beats Revellino in the last game, Andy Hamilton will be on 4 points, Jamie only on 2, yet Jamie's performance level has been so much better than Andy's would have been this evening. That's why I love the sport. It's so unpredictable.
Unpredictable and sometimes unfair.
99.
I do believe we've got another former finalist from Portsmouth in the chat. Alex Small. Good evening, Alec.
96.
Former Red Dragon champion
Christian
of
requires
champions.
78.
Definitely worth a mention. Oh, he's not going to do it again, is he? This will make Jamie feel nauseated if he goes 57-20. Oh, look out. Jamie, don't look.
No score.
That would have been soul
Jamie
destroying.
require 105.
This will be character building if he finds this.
73.
Oh, so close.
Christian requires
But now Gilly's got to go
78.
all the way back to 78 instead of, let's say, double 10 or double 5. Does he get it at the second time of asking? At least this time he's not going to bust it. But he has hit
On a
it.
third leg,
And look at
Chris
Kelling in the
Gilliland.
background. He can't believe it. How many different ways can Gilliland break
Full
Jamie in
flag. It's
2
Jamie
emotionally?
To throw first. Game on.
Right now, a penny for the thoughts of Jamie Kelling.
77.
Probably thinking if he had 6 darts, Gilliland would still find a way to beat him. He might be a genie.
140.
Now think about what's happened the last couple of legs. He's had a bad first dart, then a brilliant recovery in the same visit. Then he's bust
58.
77. 78, I do beg your pardon. And then he's taken it on the next shot. Those things, they sting.
59.
I do get the feeling that Gilliland is like the Brendan Dolan of the Super Series. He's just infuriating to play
42.
because he's good and he's quiet. And he just gets on with his business without any fuss.
Just goes about it and hard to beat.
53.
As we approach 1 o'clock in the morning, I think we're starting to see a couple of players starting to tire mentally.
46.
This is not a good time to feel that way. This is one of the only darts competitions worldwide where you've got to play this late.
121.
And if you're a regular, it just becomes the norm. But if you haven't been here for a while, it can almost feel like your first time playing at this time again.
140. Christian require
128.
128.
For a 4-0 whitewash. Another. Sometimes on 1-2, I think you're better hitting the single 18 with the first dart.
88.
Such an unusual
Jamie require
shot.
138.
He's not going to take the 138, so now Kelling will be thinking to
58.
himself that
Christian
4-0
require
is
40.
imminent and that would butcher his leg difference.
Game shot. And
Chris
the match.
Gilliland
Chris Gilliland
is going to finish on 6 points with Justin Smith, and that is a good night's work from him. But what an infuriating evening it's been for Jamie Kelling, who has played some brilliant stuff at times and has delivered the biggest average of the night, but unfortunately on that occasion only had one dart at a double, and Gilliland had plenty to get the job done. He wins by 4-0, and when we come back, it's going to be the last match of the night, with Andy Hamilton taking on Revelino Dubois.
Welcome back, everyone, to our final game of the session here on this Thursday night into Friday morning. And there we have the table. Justin Smith and Chris Gilliland lead the way on 6 points. Then we've got 3 on 2. One of them will go to 4 points, Paul. But it's hard to say that Jamie Kelling will be bottom of the table overnight when his performances have actually been very good.
Performances have been good, but sometimes darts isn't fair, and the numbers are how we separate players. And some people might say that is why the game is fair. That's why we've got wires on the dartboard. We don't have an assistant referee. We just need the one on the stage because the wires do the rest. However, it's going to be a better night for one of these two, isn't it? Someone's going to go to 4 points. But the one thing we have collectively as a darting community looking into this last game is that everybody's still going to be in the running come Friday night.
Game on.
And that makes for a very interesting final qualifying session here in week 1.
Yeah, I think Group B Friday night is arguably my favourite session of the whole week because there's always something on the line.
57.
Yeah, Fridays are never dull. I don't think I'll ever forget that Friday
60.
where Jimmy Van Schie was in the corridor waiting to see what happened on the stage. And it just so happened that he squeezed through to Saturday and ended up winning the week.
That was Super Series gold.
81.
Sometimes it's not all about obliterating your group or dominating A, B, or C. It's just about getting there. Ask Darius Labanauskas from the back end of the last series. Ask him how he played in his groups. He played just good enough. On the Saturday night, he was a different animal.
$100.
Just think Andy Hamilton's grown after that win over Justin Smith. I know Smith missed match darts, but it just seemed to relieve a little pressure off the Hamilton shoulders.
100.
It had been a rather remarkable night on the doubles for Justin Smith until the back end of that match. But if we may say so,
140.
Chris Gilliland is the king of the doubles tonight. 13 from 25. You don't need to be a mathematical genius to realise that that is better than 50%.
Yeah, world-class finishing.
71. Andy, you require 123.
Another maximum style visit from Revy. Last time he did that, he won the leg. And he could win this one.
66.
Double 18
require 36.
for Dubois and a 1-0 lead. This gets messy, the switch.
No score.
And I'm not talking about Leo.
Andy, you require 57.
Andy's never going to be rushed. He's always going to go through his process. And he's hoping the process is only 2 darts.
Game shot on the first leg. Andy Hamilton.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That process of the Hamilton throw as well, it's something that's never changed over the years, is it?
Second leg.
That
It's
mechanical
Revelino to throw first.
back-forward
Game on.
set motion has always been there and always will be there.
You ever notice that Andy Hamilton is one of those players who likes to
100.
saliva up the fingers? I think that's one way to put it. Leonard Gates is the same, isn't he?
Yeah. If I remember right, you used to blow your fingers, didn't you?
Yeah.
134.
Nothing worse than dry fingers. Simon Whitlock blows on both hands at the same time. He cups his hands and blows into both of them like a seashell.
60.
A lot of Aussies do it like that. Kyle used to do it a bit. Because sometimes you need to regulate how your hands feel
41.
with something like carbon dioxide coming from your lungs. 'Cause that's what it is. But just a way of regulating how your fingers feel, whether they are
97.
just a little bit too sweaty, too dry. That's the thing that can help. But there are people who use other things. Wax, powders, chalk. But Andy, obviously, bodily
100.
fluids. And you can use sweat from your brow if you need a bit of that. We are getting to the time of year where that could be quite useful.
81.
There's been a few sweaty dart players in Blackpool over the years.
Yeah, myself included. One of Andy's best memories, that, isn't it? Winning that famous game against Simon Whitlock.
56.
I'm sure Simon is sick of that being mentioned.
Go down in match play folklore.
I'd like to think, for the sake of the future of the dart players, that
Andy, you require
nobody is going to have to go
170.
through what Simon went through. Because that was horrifying, I'm sure, for him. Oh, watch out. This might be a horror show for Dubois.
130. Revelino, you require 85.
85 for 1-all. 20 for the ball. 1 at double 5. For a level game. And again, drags
80.
low.
Andy, you require 40.
He could be 2-0 up. Notice how I said could? It's never should.
Game shot on a
It's
second
2-0
leg.
Hammer.
Andy Hamilton.
And from the depths of despair, after losing
Third
his
leg,
first couple
it's
of
Andy
games,
to throw first.
he is all of a
Game
sudden
on.
2 legs away from having the middle position in the table, which for now is a qualifying position.
$96.
Noticed as well, especially in this game, Dubois misses a low and left. They're getting pulled in that region due to his
96.
action.
That's courtesy of the way the darts fly in the last 25% of flight. They are veering to the left. Everything is from right to left for him.
43.
The dart coming back to the collarbone. The Oki position. The way the darts go in the board. He is
100.
nowhere near the finished article. But as far as a 2-year canvas is concerned, oh yeah, he's got potential, all right.
There's definitely a potential diamond there.
$108.
But Andy Hamilton piles in a max. Puts his average over the 92 mark.
He's looking to do what Martin Turner did yesterday by finishing with his best
84.
performance. And you saw what he did with his last 3 darts. It was a 150 checkout.
Yeah, he was sensational this afternoon, Martin Turner.
Best finish of tonight.
100.
It's courtesy of this young man. That 137 against Gilliland. What a shot that was. But the destiny of the 2 points in this game is
51.
not up to him right now.
Andy, you require 82.
It's in the hands of the man over 35 years his senior.
17 for tops. Tops for 3-0.
42.
Won't go,
Revelino, you require
but he will
170.
expect to come back. And will come back. That was a tired dart from Revy.
Let's not forget he's playing his 19th game of the week.
77.
And
you
he's only
require
playing his
40.
4th.
Game shot on a
Really
third
professional,
leg.
this.
Andy Hamilton.
That is 50 darts for 3 legs. And not many
Fourth
times
leg,
this
it's
week
Revelino to throw
has
first.
Revy been in
Game
this
on.
average range in a match against someone with this experience. 2 or 3 times maybe.
24.
This is a very different time, a very different opponent, and a very different challenge.
Yeah, all of these Group B players. It's important to get your rest in now for what is going to be a huge session
95.
this evening now.
Makes Friday darts even longer, doesn't it? There's technically 3 sessions in it. The end of the first night of B,
57.
all of Group C on day 2, and the majority of Group B on the Friday for day 2. Don't say we don't give you your money's worth on YouTube.
43.
I think what we should do, come Group C, is maybe think of a nice prize. Because we're very close to 45,000 subscribers.
50.
I'll have to have a word with the top brass to see what we can rustle up. I think we need something in the region of 250 more followers. If we get that on Friday afternoon, we'll figure something out. So be sure to join us from 1 o'clock for the live darts action. But if you don't want to wait that long, you can watch some of our highlights packages from this week and some of our additional content like the Bullseye Challenges. And I implore you, when we put it up there, watch the Bullseye Challenge
78.
from earlier tonight. You won't be disappointed.
You certainly will not. Absolutely sensational. That's all I'm saying.
54. $60.
Oh, it's troubleless. Even if Hamilton just gets a ton here, 4-0 is very much within his sights.
They're the frustrating 60s as well because they're 3 well-thrown darts. They were all hugging that top wire.
100.
He does get the ton. But I firmly believe that that third dart is Andy's only weakness at the minute, where he doesn't stay in his rhythm and he doesn't aim it.
140.
He just goes off of rhythm on that last one.
110.
But is this the match-winning opportunity? 18 for 1 at double 16.
78.
Grazes the
Rivellino,
wire.
you require 92.
This is just to save his skin in the leg difference column. He can't do anything about it.
40.
So Hamilton,
Andy, you require 32.
for the ultimate ending to evening 1 in Group B. He's done his job, and he's going to be in the middle of the table on 4 points, and he has got his leg difference back to all square as well. He's done a brilliant job, a really professional job there at 40% on the doubles, and Rivellino Dubois will find himself in the bottom 2 overnight with Jamie Kelling on 2 points. Still all to play for in this group, but when we come back, myself and Phil will chat through everything we've seen tonight.
Well, we have finished what has been a fabulous evening here in Group B. Paul, only one place to start, and just look at the results there. As on the screen, Justin Smith, almost perfect, fell at the final hurdle. But will Andy Hamilton be most relieved after all this?
Yeah, I think he probably is. Think about how his night started, how it progressed into the end of the first half, and he's thinking, I'm not really sure how things are going to go in the second half, but this is not what I had in my mind going into this first evenings of action. But the way he's been able to stick to his task, stay patient, and ultimately walk away in third position after the first night, he'll be very happy.
Justin Smith winning his first 3 games, and at that point, it was bordering sublime from him. Dipped off in the last game, missed some match starts, but overall, the Bearded Dragon, when he goes back to his hotel and looks at it, must be over the moon with what he's done tonight.
Yeah, he should be. I'm not sure how much action he's had where he lives in Wales. Sometimes it's hard to gauge what people's action has been week to week. So he might feel that freshness at the start, doing these wonderful things, but by the end, when it came to game 4, He did just start to tail off a little bit form-wise and just started to doubt himself. But 6 points out of 8, you'd always take that.
Chris Gilliland, the scoring power perhaps wasn't there this evening, but he's doubling over 50% for the night. That is world-class finishing from Gilliland. He's firmly in the mix going into tomorrow.
Yeah, he's had some good doubling this week, but this has been good stuff tonight from Chris. He's looked really patient. He hasn't been expelling a great deal of energy. It's not the way he plays anyway, but he's someone who is very, very dependable. And we neglected to mention to all of our audience tonight that he has not failed in making a Saturday before, and he's playing like someone who won't be denied.
It's been a strange night for Jamie Kelling because he sits bottom of the table only on 2 points, but the performances have been very good. He's had the standout performance with that fabulous average, but he's got work to do tomorrow.
I think what he's got to do is cling to how he performed in response to game 1. He did some beautiful things like that 171 downstairs on the 19s, but he's just got to be a bit more clinical when he's getting chances. Figure out what you want to leave and just hit it and believe that you are going to do so. Because after that first leg of the night where he missed all those darts at double after a brilliant scoring start, I think it just planted a seed of doubt that constantly lived in his brain all night.
At the halfway point, the table is intriguing. Going into tomorrow, what points total do you think will get someone through?
If in doubt, just get to 10. Honestly, don't be thinking that 8 points is going to get you through. How many times have we said that 8 is possibly safe? And it just leaves you on a knife edge. So do yourself a favour, calculate what you need to get to 10 and go and do it. And for the bottom 2, they may have to win them all.
Tomorrow, how many twists and turns do you think we're going to have in this Group B?
More than Hockenheim, more than Monaco, more than Spa. Pick your race course. That's exactly what it's going to be like. Loads of chicanes and all sorts of tunnels, because trying to predict who's going to go through this one, honestly, it's like a lottery.
Paul, pleasure as always. Thanks for your company. And everyone, we will be back for another double session tomorrow. Group C gets underway 1 o'clock on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel. But for us this evening, it is the Bearded Dragon who has the spoils.